Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome to the Monday edition of Second Breakfast. How you guys doing? Hope you guys had a great weekend. We had a pretty busy weekend, a lot of different things. Let's see, we got Stephen Kennedy in there. Oi, how you doing, man? Really good show Saturday night. Really good show. I wish I could have stayed longer, but hey, what's up, Squirrel? You guys know where the link is. You want to come in and hang out. If not, I totally get it. Jackie had a party he was going to, and so we had to cut that short. It was the same thing Sunday night, as a matter of fact. Um, he needed, a ride home, and had to cut the Sunday night game right off at the 8 o'clock mark. Sorry, I had a lot of fun. It was a really good game. Some interesting developments. I'm really enjoying that game. I believe I've got a Dead Rain game this week, Thursday night with Nerdy Ogre. If you're not checking out his stuff, if you're into Palladium, that's the place to go. I have been working. I finished up. Uh, Dungeons and Lasers makes several clear plastic sets, and I finished the river set with the blue clear plastic, but now I'm working on the lava set. I brought my lighter up here so maybe I can show you. I showed it off the other night, and with light under it, it looks spectacular. I've got some Dollar Tree LEDs. They sell these strings of like 10 lights, AA battery powered, various configurations, but one of them is for Halloween, and they're orange lights. So I'm going to string those under here whenever we use the lava set. We've got green, we've got blue, we've got red, we've got clear, we've got multicolor for Christmas. And uh, when you see them, and they'll start showing up in August or September for Halloween. There's also some purple ones that are almost like a black light. They're really neat, but for $1, and I literally stocked up. I bought probably over 100 sets of those lights because not only do they look good underneath these clear plastic sets, but here, let's see if I've got. Yeah, I do right here. In the sewer sets and the other dungeon sets and all the sets that have walls, all of the dungeons and sci-fi sets, the walls have this little peg hole right here, and it's meant for torches and cameras and different little doodads you can stick in those holes, but they're the exact within a shade of a millimeter. You might need to take an awl and scrape it out just a little bit. You can plug those lights in, through the backside, and they'll glow, they'll light up, and they look really good, especially the orange ones for torchlight, or if your dungeon or sci-fi area has like a theme. We did one very famous video. You can check out Lair of the Green Dragon, where we lit the whole thing up with just green lights, and it looks spectacular. And so we've every time we see these at the Dollar Tree, we pick up a few extra, just because they're eventually going to die. They're cheap dollar store Chinese crap lights, but they work for a while. We've never really tested them to see how long they last, but every time we go back to them, they still light up. What's up, nerd? Hungar, how you doing? I also finished up the city streets. I gave some of the streets a little sewer slime. You can barely see it here. I should have dry brushed it white before I went with the green, but you can see right there, right, oh, right there. That's the color green. I gave them like a little blue wash, just so I could use them for sci-fi or fantasy settings. And I finished up these. I'm working on some more sewer sets, but this time with clear plastic, and I'll just do the sidewalks in the same pattern or a grayish pattern and leave the clear, because I can throw in the green lights under here and it'll make the water look all green and toxic, or I could throw in blue and it'll kind of look like water. The other ones I have are blue, clear plastic, but I can't find some of the flat pieces for some reason, which is kind of depressing. I don't know what happened to those. I'll probably be getting more of those just because one set is enough to go across like a maybe a 3 or 4 foot table. But if you want like the sprawling sewer setup, you're gonna need like two sets. And we got James joining me this morning. How you doing, bro?
Pretty good. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I got no complaints. Living the dream, painting up toys, playing with cool people. You
Well,
know,
I was watching what you were painting up. They look really cool.
I'm telling you, this plastic stuff it's almost better than the minis themselves because you've got some they clip together with these little clips and you could build all kinds of crap and unbuild it and I used to literally use Legos when I was a kid when I outgrew them for playing as a kid. I would use them for war games and make dungeons and things like that just to kind of get more immersed. It didn't really pan out so well when you got like red and blue and green white bricks, but we did
Right.
what we could. And this stuff, it's kind of expensive on the aftermarket, and if you try to buy it from Poland and all that, it's crazy priced. But occasionally you find a deal on eBay, or you can wait for the Kickstarter, and then you can get all the back items dirt cheap as well as whatever's in the Kickstarter. We've got the sailing ships due any day now, and they're about 2.5 3 feet long, and one is pre-painted, a big pirate ship, but the other one is all in a greenish clear plastic. So I've got two ships that we can do like Pirates of the Caribbean boarding actions and crap like that. It's going to be a lot of freaking fun.
I'm gonna have to look into the ships. I do like boats.
And I got this the Falling Star from WizKids. It's a nice ship, but it's actually really tiny. When you put minis on it, it's like it's tiny. It's like there's not enough room on the ship to actually like sleep like five people. It's tiny, the way it's built. So I'm curious to see how the even when you go below deck, there's like no room. It's freaking ridiculously small. Even though the ship is like again, 2.5 feet long, with cloth sails and cannons, and it looks gorgeous. We had a blast painting it, but once you start putting minis on it, you realize how dinky it is, and how much a real sailing ship to scale would probably be like 2 feet wide by over 4 feet long, right?
It depends on the ship because I have the Blood and Plunder box sets and a
Okay.
lot of their stuff,
hmm I,
and
I, I
those things
almost got
are
into that.
to scale. And it turns out a lot of those ships back in the sailing days were just
Mhm.
very small.
Right, right.
Like smaller than you think they would be. Even a
Mhm.
frigate is not huge. I mean, the fact that they might have had 80, 90 guys on that thing, those dudes were crammed in there like sardines.
And on average, they were 6 inches shorter than us
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So
So
that adds up. That really does add up. But you know the movies and on our our own expectations. Reaper put out a really big ship. Unfortunately, when you get them, they're kind of warped, and you got to put them in the hot water and do the thing uh, to,
right.
to 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 shape them back. I saw it, and I saw a guy and his problems on a video. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna. It looked better. It was bigger and wider, which is really the key. Because if you can only fit like two miniatures, wide, it's like no, that's nothing like Captain Blood and all the other great pirate movies. You had people just freaking dancing around with room to spare, and there's none of that.
The ship of the line that I own,
Mhm.
it's a third rate frigate because you know how they rated their ships first rate, second rate, third rate.
Mhm.
It's about 8 inches wide at the widest
That's not
sections,
bad. That's not bad.
and it's about 2.5 feet long.
Okay.
But for the time period, 1670s and whatever, the age of sail and pirates and all that,
Yeah. Hmm.
that was a big ship. A frigate was a full-on warship. And
Yeah.
really the only thing bigger you were going to see out there would be like a Spanish galleon,
Yeah.
which
That's
those things are
I'm
massive.
always thinking galleons. I've got that famous black light poster of the voyage, and it's of a galleon sailing off into the sunset. I'll show it to you guys one of these days. I got to take a picture of it and put it on Discord. And I
Yeah,
used
if
to
you want
stare
to
at that
spend
picture.
way too much money, they sell a galleon. And this thing
Yeah.
is like 5 decks. I mean, it's 3 feet long at least. It's about a foot wide. It's,
Mm.
but it is a legit Spanish galleon from that
I,
era.
I mean, right. This table I'm on is a little over 2 feet wide and easily 4 feet long. And to me, it's like I know that's probably wider, but I just all the old movies. That's all we can really go by.
Well, we have the Constitution that still
Hmm.
exists. We still sell that bitch around, and that is a frigate. That's
Hmm.
that's would be a third-rate ship of the line. So
Squirrel, I hope your buddy's okay. We'll throw in a little prayer for
his
your
vitals are good though. So
yeah, yeah.
that's a blessing.
Yeah, if those are good, whatever it is isn't life threatening. It may be something bad, but it's probably not like immediate bad. It's
Code
not
Iron
even.
likes the Reaper ships, especially the Ghost ship.
I have the Sharon's ship that goes across the river Styx is only
Yeah.
about this big. It's tiny, but I got it. I don't even know where it is now, but
Oh yeah. I mean,
I
that's
got it for like twelve
basically like
bucks.
a, what do they call them? Like a gondola or something.
A skiff maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he's standing on it, pushing it with a stick.
It's funny too because I just saw um, a Raul Partha version of the same ship. It's on eBay, and the guy's got two of them in a lot of lead miniatures. And I kid you not, it's 2 inches, and it's not even a centimeter wide. It's like, I mean, it's like a pontoon boat. It's just tiny, like a
Uh,
canoe almost.
he's
Uh,
basically taking you across one at a time.
well, I mean, in 25 mil, you could maybe get two people if they sat down, hunkered down. Maybe three, but that it would be slow going, and you'd be, you know, pretty
The
heavy
main
in the
ships
water.
that use in Blood and Plunder a lot of the times are the sloops,
Hmm.
and they're about 40 feet long and maybe, I don't know, 20 feet wide,
Yeah,
maybe.
I remember looking at that game way back, and it was kind of expensive at the time I was looking at, and I knew I had no I had my dinner table's nicely sized. We could play on it, but storing them just the um, Falling Star from Reaper, it's up on a top shelf back in its original box inside its original box. Uh, it's not coming out. We're not using that anytime soon. I need a ping pong table and to be able to have several ships on the table and do all that sort of
Right.
cutthroat island. I love that freaking scene where it all goes, where the voices all go silent, but you can just hear the music and the explosions with Gina Davis. You remember that movie?
Right.
I love that movie. I know it's a crappy movie according to
Oh, that's
some
okay.
folks. I really dig that movie, and believe it or not, I'm getting ready to back the Two Little Mice pirate. You know how they have Outgunned Adventure, Outgunned Superheroes. Well, the new Kickstarter is Outgunned Pirates, and it's got like three different eras of pirates that you can play in, and all their stuff looks like just like a great table game. But there's just no way I could play it online because there's cards and coins that you have to give to people when it's their turn, and it really sort of leans into the physical props, the different kinds of dice, the different kinds of uh, like there's a map like for the like 1920s Call of Cthulhu kind of era stuff, Indiana
Mhm.
Jones. They've got this parchment map with a red plastic airplane that you use to move from
Mhm.
location to location, like that scene where you just see the airplane flying through the rain and the map behind it and the dotted line, just all kinds of visual, you know, bells and whistles. And the game looks like a lot of fun. It's really dynamic in the way you're playing in person, kind of thing. Playing online, you don't have time for any of that crap. It's just like go, 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 go. Clock is ticking. We've only got 2 hours to go. I want to kill something. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I'm seriously contemplating backing it because I backed all the other games. I saw the commercial for the the like Cthulhu era. Not there's not like a lot of Cthulhu stuff in it. It's just like that era, the 20s, the 40s. You know, like the Mummy and those kind of movies. You know, where you're in Egypt and doing all the John Carter stuff. And I backed it, and I got the other one, which was a game based on like action movies. You know, so like if you wanted to run a one shot of, the Last Boy Scout kind of a adventure, it does that kind of thing. And then I got the other one I mentioned, and the superhero one will be here any day. And like I said, they all come with just a crap ton of like goofy shit. Like one of them came with a set of metal bullet dice. You ever see those?
Yeah.
I thought those are kind of cool. Just some of that junk that comes with it was kind of worth the price of admission, but it comes with a crap ton of books and modules and all kinds of stuff. That's just even if I never play the game, I've got new inspiration and new ways of thinking about how to run the game. What's up, Dean? Steven? A whole
Dean
bunch of
and
people in
Steven
there.
are here. Yeah.
Cold Iron's here. Some really good memes lately. Cold Iron. I just noticed an absence. Just saying. Hey, we got Bloodworth here, bright and squirrely in the morning. Hey, man, how you doing? I didn't get a chance to watch that long form video of yours. Um,
You
I'd
mean
love
the
to hang out
stream?
with you guys. Yeah, I'd love to hang out with you guys on Friday, but that's kind of iffy for me because we always go out to
Hmm.
dinner on Friday, and I get back and you've got like 30, 45 minutes left of the show. I don't know who your friend is. He seems like a real down to earth kind of guy.
Oh, that's DM James from RP Grandpa.
Okay, okay. What's up, Dean? He
Hello.
seems like what's happening, Dean?
Um, I said last week it's not cancer, and they still don't know what it is. Now they want me to go a month without caffeine to make sure that's not affecting my blood pressure
Okay,
Mm.
before they
okay.
start scanning me with all those expensive
Does it
machines.
cause cancer?
Probably. I forgot how a CT works, if that's the magnetic one or whatever
Yeah, it
it was.
is. It is, but it
Okay.
still probably causes cancer. I wanted to say real quick about your friend DM James, not the DM James that's here. He strikes me as like that guy that, like, you are absolutely totally shocked when you find out he's a Dungeons and Dragons guy. In his hometown, I bet like nobody like knows him
Yeah.
as that. Like they know him as just a good old boy. He's just like, there for the barbecues and doing all the,
Hmm.
kind of wholesome kind of activities. Not that this hobby isn't, but then when people find out he's that guy, they're like, "Really?" You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Am I right?
Yeah, he's like a 30-year law enforcement vet.
No,
Um,
yeah, I
so
have a
whether a
feeling.
Georgia state trooper or maybe a sheriff or something like that. Yeah,
Oh
no,
my god, I
he's
totally called that. I totally called that. I was like, not that he had the Buford T. Justice vibe, but he still has the law enforcement vibe.
yeah, he's definitely, yeah, he comes off. He is a big OSE guy, so that's where his focus is on is running OSE, and he leans more towards the classic. So he likes the BX,
Mhm.
OSE. I mean, he still does a bit of the advanced fantasy, and he
Mhm.
brings in the carcass crawlers and all of that stuff. But no, he's a big old school fan.
Nice. Nice. He seems salt of the earth kind of guy.
Yeah, yeah. He's a cool guy.
All of you guys do, to be honest. I mean,
Mm.
that's one of the things I like about hanging out with you guys because uh, my wife said something that I really wouldn't say out loud about the demographic and the population of where we live. Um, I'm literally the last white guy in my neighborhood,
Uh,
and
did she say it's
it's
turning?
it's to the point that she's noticing, and she's not that kind of a person, you know. So it gets a little lonely when I'm out there, you know.
Is were her comments something like it's turning to a pavala here?
No, 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 no,
Mm.
no, no, no. Uh, she's very shy and very demure, and to have her say something like that, you know, other than when she's doing a Ricky Ricardo laugh, it's yeah, still
So
still
anyway, so how's it going, Dean and DM James? How's it going, gentlemen?
I'm living the dream, man.
you sound like you're on morphine, dude. You all right? You laying down?
I am laying down watching you guys on TV, but muted, and then talking to you on the computer, but also reading some. Guess what? Uh,
Hyperborea?
yeah, on
Hyperborea.
computer.
I'm actually working on character creation for Hyperborea. For my Saturday night game, I have 12 pre-gens to create. Because I
Oh, that's
intend
all the
for
time we have tonight, folks. Okay.
yeah, yeah, that's we'll be working on that and taking a look at then taking a look at the adventure that they're going to go on and making sure that it's going to be both fast and brutal and a lot of fun. And then I'll start focusing on once I get this done, which glad I only have one appointment today at 1 o'clock. So once that's done by like 2:30, I'll have from like 2:30 to 7 just to work on that. I'll be
Nice.
doing work from work.
Hmm.
Getting paid to DM. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
I couldn't help noticing because it's right in front of me. You guys can't see it, but something to me. I know you're not like into the like Gonzo sort of setting, but Hyperborea is literally it's at least three out of the four pillars of Gonzo. That's freaking Hyperborea. Okay, and
Mhm.
the fourth pillar being the breaking the fourth wall. I think they call it. But I'm looking at both. I forget something press
behind D.
Pel Pellegrim Press or something like that. I'll go get it in a second. But the Goodman Games Dying Earth, and then the other company that put out a Dying Earth game. Let me go get that.
As for how I'm doing great, all things considered. And yeah, I'm still running what do you call it, like Pathfinder in the weekend, first edition.
Hmm.
This book I picked up, even though like I can't. I'm so pissed.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
almost every.
I have the box set of the Goodman Earth, the Dying Earth thing from
This
Goodman
isn't
Games.
Goodman. This is actually Pellegrine Press. It came out way before, but it's
Hmm.
a Jack Vance Dying Earth role playing game. But like every
Hmm.
page was freaking stuck together. It's still usable, and I'm actually going to read it coming up soon here and compare the two. But this was what.
Unfortunately, it still won't be as good as Hyperborea.
Well,
Well, I'm not
uh,
actually running Hyperborea in Hyperborea. I'm running it in Conan's Hyborian Age. So
Yeah,
they're
it's
you could
basically
do that.
2001.
doing Red Nails. That's the adventure I'm writing.
Um,
Yeah, that'd easily fit. I
Hmm.
mean,
well,
it's
all of the things are essentially
use your words.
They're damn near the same thing. How far you want to lean into the H.P. Lovecraft or other stuff, but they all have the same elements, just mixed up differently. Basically, they
Oh,
all have the
yeah, I'm not like this particular story isn't really H.P. Lovecraft at all.
Mm.
well,
Well,
as James would say,
my
they're the
player
same
group.
world, because Lovecraft and Howard, did so much, cross pollinating and working
Well,
and collaborating
they were
together.
part of a writer's circle. They were
Right.
always.
Why isn't this working?
My group is currently going through the Forgotten Realm Ruins of Adventure module that I just set near Brigand's Coast, which was originally SSI's Pool of Radiance. So they're literally going through an AD&D module. I just set it in a
Somewhere
spot.
else.
Right.
I still need to read that one because first off, you recommended it, and second off, it's probably a good format for like big cities adventures in general. And in my setting, there are several cities you can quote unquote reclaim
Right.
for yourself,
Yeah.
not for a random lord.
Well, last night they went into the library and rooted around and eventually got attacked by a specter, and it hit the Spartan warrior and took 8 con from him in one hit. And since he only had 14 con, that put him down to where he actually had to deduct hit points from his total because, 6 con, that gives you like a -1. And so he was
So
running scared for a little
in
while.
addition to the loss of con bonus, he gets a negative. That's messed up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it does 1 die 10 points of damage, and then it takes 2 die 4 points of con. And to
Be
get
right
con
back.
back, you have to rest
No worries.
for 1 day. You have to have complete bed rest for a day, and that will get you 1 point of con back. So basically, they've already paid the tavern for a week, and
That's kind of rough.
it was better than losing a level, I think.
Well, ultimately, yes, but uh, the way I would see it, it's like if that happened like in a dungeon, and you got whacked that hard, you're pretty much not going to make it out of the dungeon. You can't
Yeah,
carry your shit. It's just the beginning of the death spiral.
yeah. Well, that is a thing. Hungar's gone through all of his cleric spells to see if he has one that will return Constitution, because he did
It,
finally hit level 5. So, and he has his own books. So yeah, he's going through it.
it's probably highly unlikely that he's got a spell of that magnitude at
Well,
that
I
level.
mean, they used to have an AD&D that had restoration.
Yeah, that's like a 6th level spell, isn't it?
I don't know. I know you had 2. You had restoration and greater restoration.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not entirely sure of the levels, but
Mm-hmm.
anyway, yeah, he's just going to go through all the spells and see if there's one there that actually is like a restoration spell. If there is and he can get it, that would hardcore, help him out.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
But if there isn't one, then you're right. Screwed.
Mm-hmm. Just getting out of the dungeon and over the land, I don't know how far away they are, but I mean that could be just.
With 6 cons, so the guy's, and he's a fighter mage, so he's only on a die 8 hit die. So
Mhm.
by the time he lost the 6 con, the hit points for being down to 6 con, and the damage, he was running at like the teens of hit points.
Mhm.
So yeah, not a good time.
Mhm. What's up, Mini Warmud?
Mini Wormut.
Get to work. This is my work. I'm retired. I've been retired damn near longer than Dean's been alive.
No comment. I guess that's revenge for me making you guys feel old by calling you the Council of Elders and so forth.
Yeah. That's okay though. That's okay. I'm gonna look at it as a good thing. I don't feel that old.
Yeah.
I just
I don't feel tardy.
nice. Diamond
All right.
Dave.
Yeah.
Oh,
Give me something to write on,
did you?
man.
Wait, I just heard an interesting fact about him. Did you know that like after I think it was after Van Halen, you know what he was doing that nobody else
Paramedic.
knew? Yeah, that blew me away. Here I
Yep.
thought he was, like kind of a douche nozzle, and he was out there doing something freaking,
Yeah, he was
actually.
a paramedic in the back of a rescue in somewhere California,
Hmm.
which is
That's
pretty
pretty cool.
badass. I mean, it's respectable,
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. Retired? What's that? No such thing. Take up gardening? No. Um, I started gardening when I was about 4 against my will at gunpoint, and I vowed once I got to a certain point, never going to do it again. Most you get out of me is mowing the lawn, and occasionally I'll chop some branches with the chainsaw or something like that. And chopping firewood don't count because that's a joy. Not really chopping; it's more like chainsawing.
But you can save so much money on garlic and onions by planting them yourself.
Oh no, I have the women folk do that. That's women's work.
Fair enough.
They don't like hearing that, but I don't rightly care. So wanted to grow some potatoes this year. We were all set to do the throw them in a box and let them do their magic, and we totally spaced. So now it's like probably too late for that.
It might be a little too late.
Depends on the climate, but don't you also like live in the desert?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, yeah. Then it might be too late. Because, like, I imagine, like, July is gonna be scorching.
Hmm. Yeah, it's actually here where I live. It's traditionally fire season, just in time for the 4th of July. I
Ah,
kid you not. Every year we've been here, it's been about 15 years now. Right over this mountain here, we can see forest fire smoke, just plumes of it, just like shooting up, and it's like it's never come over the mountain, but we know it's on the other side,
yeah.
and hopefully it'll stay that way. But it wouldn't take much of a strong wind to get it to break over into our neighborhood. That
Yeah,
would,
but don't you live in the desert?
yeah. But
So
we
other
have
than the occasional roadrunner catching on fire, what do you got to worry about?
we got pine trees. We got pine trees up and down the streets. It's not that kind of desert, uh, because we have these things called sprinklers and pipes, so we can get water. It's just it doesn't rain.
Shadow's going to walk out and see like a bunch of coyotes on fire just running through the desert. What's going on here?
I haven't seen one in a while, but I do hear them at night. It's kind of eerie because there's this field over here. It's not. It's about an eighth of a mile square, and they live there. You can hear them doing their yipping at night.
Oh.
And have fun, Mini Walmart, repairing that irrigation line.
Take care, Mini Wormut. Hey, man, you didn't join the craft challenge this month. I'm really surprised. I will be announcing another craft challenge real soon, so I expect to see your throw your hat into the ring for that. I will be announcing the winner later today or tomorrow, and the next challenge. I haven't decided if we're going to do uh, a squirt gun challenge. Create a prop ray gun, or if we're going to do the time honored shampoo bottle spaceship. I keep seeing that. I keep seeing those videos where you take a shampoo bottle and add a bunch of crap to it, and next thing you know, you've got this freaking cool looking spaceship. Well, maybe we'll do the deodorant land speeder. That's always a fun one. We did that in our first year, and Jackie loved it because we turned them into like Star Wars speeders, not like the one from
Yeah.
Rogue Trader. And they all it took was some. I bought like a Chevy uh, Impala or some sort of car model kit just for the seats, and took those seats out, dropped them into the deodorant bottle, and the windshield, and it looked freaking. We made two of them, and they looked freaking great.
Yeah, I only have what's that red one called again? Where it's like Old Spice. There we go. I
Oh,
only
okay,
have Old Spice, so I guess I have to like put like a sail on it and say like it's a desert speeder.
okay. No, no cold iron. What? Once again, Monday morning, he chooses violence.
He's just trying to strike hole in one. Okay.
Is he talking about ass again?
Yes, he is. The how about butthole haiku about butthole challenge.
Yeah, he ain't right. See, that guy ain't right.
Are any of us? I mean, come on.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
that's true. Mm.
we've got one of the most
But Code Iron,
cool.
the image you made of me just kind of kicked back resting on a mountaintop with my dog and Saturn in the background is absolutely amazing.
I agree.
That was so good. And then
I
my wife started asking though about Bear, my little Mishka, and was like, he's different sizes. And I told her, I was like, well, he's a magical dog. He actually can change his size as ever he needs to. That's why sometimes he's tiny and I carry him in my jacket, and sometimes he's really big and he's ripping serpent people apart. Just depends what I need. He's
I
lame enough.
kind of I kind of really like the one with the daggers where you're holding them in your teeth.
Oh
That
yeah,
one was.
crawling through the sewer and he's standing on my shoulder with the lantern.
Oh, is it Lantern? I thought he had a knife in his teeth as
Or
well.
no, I think he's got a torch. The
Okay, I
dog's
could
got the
swear.
torch and I've got a knife in my teeth and I'm crawling. But well, it's a whole series. Well, my wife likes them. She thinks they're really good.
Series, different periods in time.
And the one with me on the Viking longship with Saturn in the background, that's a good one too.
Coal Iron. Next up, you need to make the dog like and James like cyberpunk themed.
I still have the one where it's just Shadow and I sitting at a picnic table eating barbecue. There's like no context to it. It's just Shadow and I sitting there eating barbecue.
I like the one with the lemonade.
Or there's one where I'm sitting there eating like an RC cola and a moon pie, just sitting there. Just like,
Yeah, I'm
all
actually
right.
gonna see if I can't get that one on a T-shirt. You and me doing the Southern Gentleman.
Oh yeah,
That
where
one.
we're in the white suits, like we're getting ready to
That
go
whole
have some mint
series was just
juleps.
that whole series was just top notch, dude.
Yeah, yeah. It's like we're getting ready to go to the horse races and have some mint juleps. That's a thing in Kentucky, Dean.
Or we just got back,
Or we just got back. Yeah, that is like a
contemplating the
whole thing.
universe and everything, and
Not that
enjoying
I
it.
care about it, but a lot of people in Kentucky consider it to be like a major part of Kentucky culture. Mint juleps, hot browns, and freaking horse racing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the world did a whole lot of things before we had, you know, organized role playing games and war games and things like that. So what's a fella to do, right?
All right. Yeah, don't listen to Dean about the cyberpunk stuff. I made too many steaks. Yeah, that's
That's basically what I imagine your characters say if you're like strung out on drugs named after Mesopotamian deities.
yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very cyberpunk to me, but it's been a while since I read that, so maybe I'm thinking of something else.
I would say
Well, in
uh,
cyberpunk, isn't the main drug BTLs? Like the better than life chips that you put in?
I don't remember.
Ditto.
Or is that
Surprisingly,
Shadowrun?
my players weren't interested in the drugs. They just wanted the guns and what you
Right.
and what you load the guns with to make people die.
Right. I think in Shadowrun, maybe you can buy these better than life chips, and it's basically like heroin, except instead of a chemical, you slot it into your brain, and
Mhm.
it makes your brain do whatever heroin or whatever would make your brain do. And you can get like they're like mini movies that give your body super pleasure when you watch them. And like anything else, people get addicted and they start living their whole lives in BTL.
Very, very Ghost in the Shell / Red Dwarf.
Yes, very
I think
much.
both Cyberpunk and Shadowrun has that.
Yes, I think so.
And Red Dwarf.
So you can go and buy like porn BTL, except you're the one in the movie, and it jacks your
Wasn't
brain
there a
up.
movie like that as well, or several?
I'm pretty sure there's several where they're well, okay, Demolition Man. Remember when they're gonna have sex? They put the weird things on their heads.
No, 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 no. It was not that. I think Christopher Walken was in one of them
Hmm.
with Natalie Wood. Oh, come on, guys! Don't tell me I'm the only one who saw that movie.
Uh,
Which movie?
Christopher Walken, Natalie Wood, where they put the freaking head thing on and they're living other people's memories.
No, I don't know that one.
I haven't seen Christopher Walken video like that.
no.
Really?
Anyway, back to role playing games though. Yes, that's a really bad thing in Shadowrun because BTLs are cheap. They're one time use. They burn out when they're over, and people get addicted to them just as bad as they do meth. So you got a bunch of BTL junkies out on the streets robbing people so they can get their next BTL. You know.
Hmm.
So there you go.
Yeah, I don't like when that happens.
Mm-mm. Oh, the animated series of Cyberpunk shows people using BTLs. Yeah, that's true. It did. Yep, BTL junkies were in that too. I mean, because it can be anything. So, like in Cyberpunk, in the Cyberpunk role playing game Shadow, there's a game in the game where you actually are playing like a virtual reality fantasy role playing game.
Oh yeah,
So you
I
can
used to own, I used to own Cyberpunk. I just
right. So you can actually make an elf character.
okay. End of Days. Was that the one with Christopher Walken or Brains? No, I'm thinking Brainstorm. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
In the days, I
Chris.
think that's the
Chris.
one with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
End of Days is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Uh, Brainstorm is Christopher Walken.
Yeah. In the days, it's cheesy and it's a good for one watch.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it. I watch it all the time. I own it.
Ah, okay. I just remember it's a good one watch movie.
Well, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's of that era when Schwarzenegger was dominating the box office. So I have all of those. You know, Running Man and Total Recall and all
Yeah,
that.
I had a pretty extensive Arnold collection as well.
Yeah. And then Arnold did something that pissed him off, and he said, "I'm getting rid of all this shit."
They did a whole bunch of things actually. Uh, One helped ruin my state. That was enough. But when he said "fuck your freedom" over COVID, like
Wait, was he California, not Florida?
He
He
was
was
California,
California.
California.
Okay, I thought he was a senator in Florida.
No.
No, it's governor
No.
of California.
Governor, yeah.
He was the governor of California.
Yeah.
I still think it's funny. I know humans work like that, but he had to get a voice coach because he's lived in America so long, he lost his accent. He
Right.
acted with.
God.
Like, I know people work like that, but that's still funny.
I dated this girl. She born and raised California, half Canadian, half Thai. She went to Thailand for 3 months, came back, couldn't speak a word of English.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Are you kidding me?
No?
No, it wasn't unfortunate. It was kind of hot for a while. Then it was just annoying.
How do you forget a language you already know?
She was a woman, for starters. I think you might have missed that. And secondly,
I
she
don't
was.
get the concept is the fact that it was only 3 months. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, where she went, there was no English whatsoever. It was.
I know, but you're not going to forget the language you grew up with.
She.
I mean, unless
she
you're
was
senile. How old was she?
Well, no, she was a
was
piece
she like
of
90
work.
when you were dating her?
You know, she was like 19. She was.
It doesn't even make sense.
I know. She wasn't the brightest bulb.
Yeah, it's like my grandmother when she was 93, she forgot all the English she had learned, and she could only speak in Italian. But anybody younger than that, you don't forget your language.
Yeah, I thought you had that wrong. Strange Days sounds more like it. Wasn't that with Pam Grier and I forget the guy's name? Back before she lost her mind. Brainstorm, the guy wore a headset that recorded him having sex, and you could wear it and experience it. Then a guy clipped it and looked and had a heart attack.
I don't know. That's weird.
I don't know can't remember what we had for lunch, and you expect people to remember languages. You would think that, you know.
I mean, she must have smoked a lot of Thai weed when she was there.
No, she was. Well, maybe I think maybe. She was. She had issues. I'm just going to say that. I'll be nice.
Well, you didn't end up marrying her, so.
Right. Yeah, she was not the brightest tool in the shed.
Obviously, she's dating you.
Yeah. That was the smartest move she ever made, and she knows it. Even to this day, she wakes up in a cold sweat.
Shadow, I think they call that menopause.
Yeah.
At this point in life, probably. Oh, Angela Bassett and Juliette Lewis. Juliette Lewis was in that? Oh, okay. No, Pam. I was right about Pam Grier, Angela Bassett, and Juliette Lewis. Okay, you guys got me confused because they all couldn't have been in the same movie. You only get one hot-looking black chick per movie. That's the rule. It's unionized. I have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, union rules.
Man,
I'm so tired of having to change work passwords.
I was going to say, I'm glad you finished it up with the changed passwords. I'm like, it's Monday morning. I mean, what did you do this weekend? You party all night? I'm so tired. It's the beginning of the week. You got a rough week ahead of you, brother. You're already tired. Might want to, lay off the burning the midnight oil. Cold iron, damn. You know I'm right. Cold iron, you know I'm right. Go find me one. Go find me one. No cigars. I always wanted to see that one. Never did though. Um,
So what's the worst movie that you didn't enjoy that you guys have watched? The whole movie off.
absolutely easiest pick. To this day, I still freaking despise Brazil.
The what?
The movie Brazil. I hate that
Ah,
freaking movie.
I like that movie.
I fell
I
asleep during Lost in Space.
with what's his name from Friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
is
So I
that
have no
Yeah, that was
idea
a pretty
what
bad
happened.
movie too.
is that
I
the one
just fell
that the protagonist like say, "I love your wife," like in the most monotone voice ever?
I don't know. I fell asleep.
Ah,
What was the
Richard had a
question again?
spicy.
The worst movie that
Yeah.
others liked?
Who is
yeah, the
Sarah
worst movie that you don't like. Which one is that?
I don't know. The question doesn't make sense. The worst movie I didn't like. Well, that's every
Well,
movie I
that's
didn't like.
because
Your
there are
least
bad
favorite.
movies that people like.
Yeah, it's the worst movie that other people like. All right. Um, I don't know. I mean, I couldn't bring myself to watch Honor Among Thieves again. I just have like no desire to watch that movie again. Um,
The
the
D&D movie.
entire Honor Among Thieves, the D&D movie,
Okay. Yeah, I never saw it.
the most recent one. No,
Mhm.
there's just nothing about that movie that would make me want to watch it again. Um, then there's like the entire uh, Scream series. No, is Scream the comedy one, or is that the one that's meant to be serious?
I think that's the one that's meant to be serious, man.
Yeah. So the whole Scream thing is, I don't think, I don't like those things. I don't like any of those like um, really like hack and slash movies, like Saw or any of those kinds of things. I don't like that kind of horror.
That's
Doesn't
because you're a
really
good
do it for
person.
me.
That's because you're a good person.
Yeah, I will admit I don't want to watch Saw again, or order the sequels, cause like
Mm-hmm.
it's not even the gore I don't like either. Like I have like the thing where like I imagine it happening to me when like I see it. Like never skip me a clip of someone stepping on glass. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's just like the philosophy of like the antagonist. Like okay, stop it, guys. That doesn't make sense. Even before we had the scientific proof of like no trauma doesn't make you stronger.
Mhm.
Uh, his mythos of like yeah.
Yeah. I'm just not.
I'm right there with you guys. The first one I think I saw was Halloween, and I'm just like,
Well,
what kind of
Halloween I like. Those are like, those aren't torture movies.
right? But
So
just
Halloween I
the idea.
enjoyed. Friday the 13th I liked, yeah, as a teenager when I was watching it. But things like Faces of Death, which
Good luck,
was
squirrel.
something that was in the
Oh dear
early
God,
80s, I
that
didn't want
that
to
was
watch it.
that movie was uh, that movie should have gotten people arrested.
Hmm.
Inundating society with that kind of content to me seems like it's reprehensible. It can't help but trigger somebody out there in the world to go do bad things. I mean, just the sheer law of averages. You got a million people watching a movie like that. One of them's
Hmm.
going to go, "Hey, I want to do that," and you just suddenly, in my book, are responsible for that. If you had never made that movie, no one would ever thought, "Hey, I want to take a butcher knife and go through the neighborhood and see how many bodies I can rack up."
Yeah.
No,
Dean, are you familiar with that movie, Faces of Death?
I heard the name. I forgot what it's about.
It's
all
a
it is
quasi
it's
documentary.
basically actual footage of torture of animals, people, you know, just
It was later found out that some of it was fake, but
yeah,
enough of it was real.
but the bottom line is like when it first came out, it came out in like the I'd say the mid 80s, maybe slightly early 80s, and my local video shop used to put it in the same section as the porno, so it was, behind the curtain. It wasn't on the regular shelf.
Mhm.
And I've only saw glimpses of it. And the one thing I remember was like the actual footage that they showed, which was real, was like people eating the brains of monkeys and stuff like that. They
I
showed like
lost my shit during that scene when I was watching that.
Aboriginal cultures and them doing that. There was videoing of cannibalism taking place. I mean, it was supposed to be just just images, video of actual things being done, and it just never appealed to me, even as like a 13, 14 year old. It was like, I don't want to see real things
Mhm.
happening like that.
Yeah, I get you.
Well, I guess we all know who to blame if I ever find a lament configuration and become a Cenobite. It's all Clive Barker's fault.
Yeah, yeah. Just movies should be aspirational, should be inspirational, and not in that way. Uh, the fact that we can do that, I get the whole free speech and things like that, but you should instantly be on a list when you got to pick for a movie
Yeah.
like that to be
Yeah,
watched.
watch list. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, why? Why do you want to see that? Why? What good can come from watching that stuff?
They didn't have watch lists back then.
Right.
I guarantee you wouldn't be able to do that kind of a movie today.
Well, now it's
You
worse, but
can't
yeah.
Yeah.
the only thing I've really seen is like this year a movie called Faces of Dick came out, and all that is fake, of course, and that's apparently a movie about a content moderator that discovers snuff films on the website she's moderating. So yeah, you can't really make an actual Faces of Dead anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's just, why? I mean, what is wrong with you? Seriously, you know. Uh,
I have a list.
right? Same as art films they sold at the flea markets. Yeah. Um, yeah, just gay guys eating pudding. I know. I know.
Hey,
This
did
is
you
South Park, right?
see?
No.
Did you see Shadow, where the guy made the whole monster series of books with like AI art?
I've been seeing those videos, but I haven't watched them.
They're pretty
That's
cool.
cool. I actually, when I watch AI videos, they're always two categories. Like weird things from the past. Science has finally figured out why this or whatever, or they're uh, videos on like the depression and the 40s and the 50s and how people used to save money and things they did to save money and make their dollars go farther, and videos on prepping videos, survival techniques and things like that. People used to know how to do this, people used to know how to do that, and we've completely forgotten.
Yeah, that was okay. Anyway, it's just pictures of all the monsters from the Monster Manual, dude.
Mhm.
That's
I
all.
did watch a video this morning about uh, monsters and creatures that have like they're like super scary, but they have this really goofy weakness, like vampires in sunlight, or this one creature that if you mocked it and laughed at it, she would run away. Like so, basically every woman. Okay,
Yeah, I was about to say either is that or is you will see your demise in a month's time or something.
Yeah, it was this weird. I forget. Maybe it was Filipino. It was this weird female creature that its upper torso would detach itself from the legs.
Yeah,
I think,
Pergalum.
and go
Or
flying around doing
Panagalum.
shit.
Flying
I never
around.
heard of that one, but I
I mean, both the Filipinos and what the other ones called Indonesians, they have a lot of monsters. Like you could build like a 3 or more monster manuals out of it.
that's interesting. Uh,
Mm.
I also remember, like in I saw a monster. I forget what it was. That like if you spilled rice while it was chasing you, it would stop and have to count the rice or the marbles or the rocks or whatever.
There's a
Uh,
few of those. There's also like gnomes like that in Europe. Like you drop something and they have to count it, or you drop a
mhm.
shoe and they have to shine it.
And the other one was I remember I could have swore reading once upon a time that part of vampire lore was they had to untie knots. That they had this obsession.
There's all kinds of things with different kinds of vampires where you can leave knots, or you can leave like a glass full of rice or whatever, and they got to count it. That's a pretty common thing, especially in Slavic mythology.
Mhm.
They talk about leaving a jar full of sand by your front door or whatever.
Good luck with that one. It'll be daylight before they're done.
That's the whole point.
Mhm.
Darn it, he brought an umbrella. Now we have to wait.
Uh,
Which is kind of weird because I mean nothing really. I mean, how much does sunlight change if it's bouncing off a stucco wall? I mean, you know, it's
Oh,
daylight.
it's just yeah. People don't think how much, people don't know how light works, and they don't know how much it reflects. And it's not just because I'm pale you're seeing the light. Okay, I suppose you call it fair skin, but yeah.
Yes, I was just thinking about. I was. That's exactly what I was thinking about, Chris. There was an X Files episode where they encouraged the vampire that counted seeds and untied knots. Yes, that's. I was absolutely thinking of that particular episode when I was thinking about that. Great minds think alike, I guess.
oh. Hmm.
So, Chris, Sheffer, what's your opinion on Audrin?
Sorry, what?
Audrin or Arduin?
Audrin. If great mind thinks alike, he got a lot in.
Arduin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what he thinks about it. They were
I don't
OCD.
know. I haven't seen it. I haven't looked at it. I'll take a look at it at CNY next week and take a look at it. If it's too similar to Barrows in Borderlands, I already have Barrows in Borderlands.
Well, Arduin came first and
Yeah,
was
but is
better
it the
in
same
every
as
respect.
Barrows in Borderlands?
No, it's very. The worlds are different. Like I said, our Arduin was meant to be a supplement to any
Uh-oh.
game, any fantasy game,
You.
whereas B&B is a very very specific uh,
Yes, Sam.
copy of
Oh,
Hyperborea.
thank you.
It,
All right, I got to run to work.
all right,
All
take
I'll be
care,
right.
back
man.
in like an hour and a
Have
half.
fun.
But if not, I'll talk to you guys later.
All
All you
right,
need
take
to
care, man.
know is Hyperborea is better.
I'm not playing either, so um, there's that. There's that.
Let's see. Yeah, some OCD vampires. Stormtrooper vlogs. Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, I had a friend who's so OCD he called it CDO.
Oh, see.
That's, I think, dyslexic.
No. He had to put in alphabetic order.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Arguing sounds cool, but I've never looked at arguing. Looks cool, but I've never looked at it. It's from the ancient time, enjoyed by elder beings. Yeah, yeah, I figured that.
Hey,
Yeah, you got to, you got to check it out. In order to really, get it.
I
It
think
was
I only like read a gazetteer like 10 years ago.
no, that's all they had was little digest books.
Ah,
There were initially there were three, and then over the years it branched to nine, and then they tried making various complete role playing games based on it, but none of those ever flew. So the only thing that's really worth reading are the grimoires, they called them.
yeah.
And all of them, even if you take all nine together, they don't really make an RPG, but they give you a crap ton of things that you want to throw in whatever RPG you're playing, whether it be the monsters, the spells, the races, the professions, the magic items, the monsters. You pull something out of there, and your players will have no freaking clue, where you got the idea, unless it's of course, an air shark, which I mean, come on, think about it. You're going down a dungeon. The party's, comes to a door. They finally crack that door open, and they see three freaking great whites hovering in midair, swimming through the air right at them. What do you freaking do? You run. I
Fireball.
mean, or a fireball. The problem with the fireball though is, James, um, because the way they fly is because of a gas bladder they have inside them. So when they die, they explode into a fireball.
That's even better.
Yeah, well, yeah, because the fireball is going to get you. It's kind of like a ricochet, or you know,
Well, it depends if
Sharknado.
they're far enough away when I cast the fireball.
Sure.
Then they all
But I
just
mean,
boom, boom, boom.
if you don't have a fireball handy or a lightning bolt, you're
Then
kind of
you're in
fucked.
trouble.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, because you don't want to get anywhere near them. Because even if they miss you with their freaking giant tooth-filled mouth, uh, and you're not wearing some really good armor, that skin rubs by you, and you're going to take a point or two of damage. And then there's blood in the air, and they're going to smell it and just go freaking ape shit on your ass. God help you if you encounter them in the wild. Can you imagine that you're in a forest?
Those things flying between trees and stuff coming after you.
Fuck, dude,
That
that would just be like
that
the
reminds
only.
me. In the US, there's like a shark attack. If you just look at a map, it looks like it's in some kind of forest, but that's because there's like a what do you call it? Oh yeah, like a nature aquatic thing there, where there's apparently been one shark attack. So in the US, you have like a random forest where there's like a shark attack,
I
and
do.
then the
Yeah,
coast.
that's just the government lying to you. It was really a freaking portal opened up and out came a freaking air shark.
Uh,
Oh man, I got to do that. I'm gonna make an encounter somewhere where it's gonna be like near a lake or a river. It's gonna be like half a dozen air sharks, and the
yeah,
only way to get away from them,
Shadow, I
dive
have
into the
one that's
water.
funnier, and it's a very horrible way the outcome that come out. But imagine someone for their like aquarium that like gotten some sharks and they're like sedated when the players arrive. Then they wake up, they're air sharks, so they fly out of what do you call it,
Yeah.
aquariums, and start attacking people.
Yeah,
The
you
kelp
guys are,
forest.
that's some wild stuff.
Yeah, Dave, the guy who wrote it, David A. Hargrave, he was an amazing dude, and wrote all this shit, before, you know, during White Box, the White Box era. I think the first book came out in like 70, 6, I want to say, maybe. There wasn't anything else, and just just absolutely crazy shit on every page, and some pretty insightful things as well. We
Hmm.
got crits from him.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wish I could
I'm
be
looking
going up.
over these spells and I don't see a single way to heal con loss other than the resting.
Hmm.
So
I don't
yeah,
think there
guys,
is.
it's almost dinner time here, so I'm gonna leave you guys to your fate.
All
Oh
right.
no! All right, Dean, you have a good one.
You too.
Good luck with the doctor stuff.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
in Georgia, a bear found a pack of cocaine and decided to eat it. And then it went on a rampage and died. And they stuffed it, and you can go and see it. And they named it Pablo Escobar. Escobar, and it's still there. So the movie Cocaine
Mhm.
Bear was actually based on a real thing.
Doesn't surprise me. Cocaine's a hell of a drug, and you know, shit,
Yeah.
shit like that's bound to happen. I guess. Hey, thank God it was just one bear and not like like a pod or whatever you call it of beavers or something. You know what I
Next
mean?
thing you know, there's not tree within 50 miles. It's just like,
And there's just this freaking wooden casino or something, run by freaking,
beavers.
advanced race of beavers or badgers or some shit.
Yeah, they're just like going nuts. Let me
Or
see.
raccoons. That would be
Yeah.
the end of the world.
Well,
Um,
I've got the magic card. I think I've posted it. Crackoon.
mm,
And how it works is you flip a card, your opponent can buy the card for 350, but if he pays for the card, you get a crack token. And at any time you can give up a crack token to make the raccoon +10/+10 and trampling.
gotcha.
So, and on the picture of the magic card, it shows a raccoon with a crack pipe in his mouth. Anyway, though,
Dean Powell says
uh,
his favorite is Hank the Tank, favorite bear. I don't know what that was or who that was or
I don't know. Dean Powell knows stuff.
Dean Powell does.
So, yeah, your sewers look really good. I'm not thinking I'm going to run out and buy any, but they look good.
Yeah, I just gave them a little dry brush of white and gray, make it look kind of like cooled lava, obsidian, that sort of thing. Kind of finish those up, uh, and I'm going to move on to. I did these as a break from some of the more tedious work, which is clipping this shit and then painting it. I've done so many of these over the last 2 weeks, and or these freaking street lamps. Each lamp had so far over a dozen different things I had to do, like changing colors and dry brushing this and going back over that. And I did 20 of these freaking things. I mean, you can't imagine a more boring task.
Right.
But they're almost done. I need to go back over them with something to make the light look a little more light instead of just neon yellow. It works, but it not quite. I need to add like a little bit of white inside there to diffuse the yellow and make it look more like or maybe I'll throw. I don't know. You think I should throw orange in there to simulate like a gaslight, or try to make it look like they're artificial gaslight, like LEDs or neon or something.
I don't know. I think those look really good.
Thanks.
So, it's like, mm, look pretty good to me.
I've only got 20, and there. Oh, thank God. And unfortunately, I'm going to get more if I get another set of the streets. But it's not like people are going to be like looking at them like any miniature on the board. They're just going to go, "Oh, cool, streetlights," and they just plug into the streets. Like right here, you can see those little divots. They could
Yeah.
go. They would just when you put them together, they plug in like that, and just cool little details that make the whole thing. Look. I know the kids are going to probably snap one off. Leaning over the table or some shit. Masha the bear. Hey, what's up, George? How you doing, man?
George.
Masha the bear was banned in Europe in 2022. How do you ban a bear? I mean, I know you get rid of a bear, but how do you ban him? What, you can't show like logos and pictures of the bear? Can't talk about Masha? I don't quite understand that. They euthanize Masha or something? I don't know.
Well, so not.
Right? Well, I mean, if it was a menace, then good riddance. But if it wasn't, then I don't understand. But yeah, then I think I'm going to, after I'm done painting these guys up, try and knock a couple of the minis off my table that have been sitting here for years. Oh, it was a Russian cartoon for kids. Still recovering,
Ah,
George? That makes perfect sense. Well, hopefully you'll be feeling better soon and back on your feet. Miss you on Saturdays. So what are you painting up right now? You got to be working on something.
who, me?
Yeah, you.
I'm laying flat on my ass watching you on
No,
TV.
I don't mean right this second. I mean, what's on your
Oh,
desk
my
on the table?
blimmies. I've got all the flesh color on them,
Okay.
and I'm getting ready to put some like pouches and bags and stuff on their belts and just do the details.
Okay.
They're looking pretty weird. I mean, you saw the one, right, with the spear and shield, and they all look
Mm-hmm.
kind of like that. I'm kind of deciding whether I want to paint like, I don't know, blue or red makeup on some of them. So
Okay, that would be creepy.
yeah,
Yeah, like blush and eyeshadow. Do the what was her
no,
name? What was her name from the Drew Carey show?
yeah, no. I was thinking more like how Amazons do with or natives, do them up like that.
Like war
Because
paint.
yeah, I mean they're from Greek mythology, but apparently sailors said they found them on islands, and so it's a whole thing. Yeah, this is so weird. You would think that there would be at least a high level cleric spell that could return missing column, but I am not finding it in
It's funny
either
'cause
book.
when I think of those creatures, I'm reminded of that character from Return of the Jedi at Jabba's palace, the singer, the girl singer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you got to put some bright blue freaking eyeshadow and big freaking rouged up cheeks on a couple of them, just to really creep your players out.
I'm also putting together scorpion men.
From what was it, Dragon Strike or Arduin?
Well, I bought the miniatures from Reaper, but scorpion men are pretty much they live on the plateau of Zen. So yeah.
Because I remember seeing the miniatures. I had some from I think it was Dragon Strike, but I know they
Yeah.
were an Arduin thing before that. Who was it? Was it Holy Diver who was talking about that game this weekend?
Which game?
Dragon Strike.
I don't remember.
Okay. I think it was one of the D&D games that came with like a VHS cassette. I think it's been a while. It was weird. There was a lot of products that came out in that era that I have like no working knowledge of, but so many people we know like kind of came up in that era,
Yeah.
and it's like
Okay, here we go. Hmm.
I was so focused. I think that was the era I was getting in. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Chris. I was getting into Palladium at about that time. So like all the TSR stuff just sort of fell away for a while until I, started going into it as a collector and trying to pick that stuff up. I would love to have seen some of those old VHS games and see how that was done. There was another game that like that from that era that I wanted to check out. In addition to was it Space Crusade? Oh man, I wish I could have played that game. I know it was kind of cheesy, compared to 40K, but I think I had like one of the instruction books for it, and it seemed pretty much like Hero Quest in space, where it was just a matter of shields and skulls and things like that on the dice, and if you did enough skulls, you could knock the opponent out. Did you ever play Hero Quest there, James?
I did. I played a lot of Hero Quest, and I had Warhammer Quests too.
I wanted to get that one, but I'd already picked up uh, Advanced Hero Quest, which was it was actually a really good game. Um, not quite D&D, but solid enough to get you, you know, uh, a lot of play time out of it. It took a while to max out any character, and there was a crap ton of magic items that a lot of it did, some kind of unique things. The fighter was played by Malibu from American Gladiators, whose quotes, "I don't need treasure, I quest for adventure." Okay, that is fucking lame. God, that's so lame. It's like got every freaking buzzword of the day in it, doesn't it? That's like a marketing exec's freaking wet dream. That sentence there.
Yeah, it is. The fighter was, yeah. Well, Dragon Strike. I'm going to look that up because I don't think I've ever even seen Dragon Strike.
It had kind of a very iconic cover, red and yellow box, red dragon on it. I think.
Oh, and for some reason, Firefox is telling me about ticks and how they can drop out of trees. I knew that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't get
Dragon Strike.
we don't get we don't get fleas up here. We don't get ticks up here. We get some pretty bad spiders. Supposedly, we get scorpions. I have never seen one in 15 years. We get some snakes, roadrunner, squirrels, but it gets so hot, I guess, that fleas just can't survive out here, and uh, other things we do see, like water bugs and cockroaches, but that's only when new people move in.
Right.
Just saying.
Okay, so there's a Scorpion Man.
Red plastic.
Yeah.
It was a cheesy miniature, but it's amazing how much
I
those
like
minis,
the map of the keep though.
all the minis from Hero Quest on, all the board game minis. You'd be amazed how much they freaking go for. It's crazy. It was kind of hybrid D&D board game. It was kind of gateway drug to get you into D&D. Yeah, yeah, there were a lot of games like that. Uh, Flying cockroaches in Florida. Yeah,
Yeah, we got the flyers down here.
the scariest scene I've ever seen in real life was I was in Vegas and we stopped at a Denny's. It was nighttime and we parked in the parking lot and it just so happened that when we were coming out of the restaurant going to our car, we got a shot, a view of the alley, and the entire freaking alley, the ground was moving. I'm like, what the fuck? I haven't done anything that strong in a long time, right? And just this weird sort of just like vibrating, like you know. And then my buddy said, "Oh my god!" And he stepped on a cockroach. I kid you not, had to be like 6 inches long, coming from behind the Denny's that we had just eaten at. Just freaking, you get enough of them under your feet, and they would just carry you off. But flying cockroaches. Are they like you know big? And what the hell? Why they gotta fly, man? Bad enough as it is.
I felt like I heard Shadow whispering.
Why are you whispering?
Why were you whispering?
Well, it is Denny's. Thanks, Mike. And congrats, Mike. Nice job.
Mike.
I was surprised that Jen didn't do one. She not want to compete with you, huh? In your skills? Is that the way it is? You just put your foot down. It's like, he won
I
the.
got my butt whipped last night at Agricola again. It's more fun to play now because I got rid of all the plain, stupid little wooden meeples and replaced them with like the deluxe edition stuff. So the pigs look like little pink pigs and the sheep look like little fluffy sheep. And so it's a lot of fun. The wife and I are going to play it later tonight again.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a board game. It's like, as they call it, a Eurotrash game, which means
Mhm.
there's no combat in it, where every player has their own farm lot and you
Mhm.
take turns doing stuff to try to improve your farm.
No,
And
okay.
that can be like buying pigs, clearing the land, building a pasture, putting some pigs in it. And so I just made some bad mistakes. And you only get so many turns. The game only goes about maybe 14 turns. And then it ends.
Oh, okay.
And then you count up who did best. And honestly, you just don't have enough time to do anything. Family vacation, nice. A mass frog migration on the road. Ooh, yeah, they do that. So your sister was crying. Yeah, I did the same thing with Dune Imperium. I don't know if you've heard of the game Doom Imperium or Dune Imperium, where you play the different great houses and you fight the war for
Yeah, I think
Arrakis.
that's
Well,
a Omenal game.
they sell a deluxe edition box set, and it's just all the pieces from the original box set, except they're badass.
Oh,
So
okay.
instead of little cubes to represent your army, you have actual, the Harkonnen are black, and they actually, look like the Harkonnen from the movie, and the Atreides are green, and the Fremen are tan, and whatever. And
Okay.
so it basically just takes the wooden pieces
Hmm.
that you find in a lot of those Euro type games, and puts in actual cool plastic pieces.
Yeah,
So
I gotta wonder. Um, ooh, popping frogs. Why not just make it deluxe to begin with? I really,
because they want
really,
more money, dude,
yeah, I
and
get it, but
because
that's
some people like the wood meeples.
okay.
There's some people out there that don't want to be bothered with like the cool
Gee,
shit. They just want the little like wooden guy,
that sounds
and
like
oh, that's
communism to
my
me.
farmer
Then
guy, right?
yeah,
That's
that
Agua
sounds like
lives.
communism to me.
Whereas I want my farmer to have a pitchfork and be wearing a hat, and
What's up, off grade? Good game last night. Yeah,
oh,
I would be hard pressed to drive over the frogs myself. I like frogs, always have ever since I was a little kid. There's just something about them is weird, you
frogs
know.
are nightmarish. Frogs are nightmare fuel.
They can be, but little ones, you know, little baby ones that are like this big,
Yeah, the
are
tiny ones, yeah,
they're
but
cute as hell.
yeah,
And they're
I
just out
recently
doing their thing, you know. They eat bugs. They leave us
Shadow, it's
alone.
your fault. I recently purchased quite a few killer frogs from Reaper, and they only had them in metal. So now I have metal, and scorpion men from Reaper only come in metal. So I'm fighting with metal miniatures, and I blame you.
I'm happy to hear it, and you know, they will be around for centuries. Yes, Stephen. I got to find a picture of that frog with the human stuck in its freaking belly trying to push its way out. Dude, it is fucking the great. It's one of the top 10 miniatures of all time because it's so
Well,
subtle. If you just look at it, you don't really see it. Then you bring it in closer, like you can see the guy's face and hands trying to push its
pressed
way
up
out.
against the inside of it.
Oh, it is freaking. Oh my god, it's so good. And I think,
And those metal frogs, like half of them are mid leap with their mouths wide open, and their mouths are just full of teeth like a freaking pit bull, you know. And the other half are like in the position like they're getting ready to leap. I realized I had no killer frogs, and I have multiple
I
adventures
have one
plus
somewhere.
Hyperborea,
Did I put it away already? I might have put it away already. I have this
and
great Arduin frog. It's an
oh, you
Arduin metal
showed it to
miniature
me once. I liked it. Yeah.
with the big giant freaking. It's got the option of having the tongue just like stretch across the battlefield. It's freaking awesome. I didn't do as good a paint job as I should have.
I
There's
don't know
some
if
really good.
Casagua gives a shit about frogs. They say he looks kind of like a toad mixed with a sloth with fur.
Yeah,
But
I've got a
then
really good. I think it was not Reaper, but RAFM. Uh,
Raffles, yeah.
uh, Tasagua, whatever. Uh,
Yeah, I got one.
the
He's
furry
really
one where
cool.
he's lounging, just kicking back, showing off his junk, kind of.
Mine, he's sitting like in the lotus position on top of a giant pile of skulls.
Okay. There's actually some really good old heritage archive, heritage and archive led frog miniatures that are really nice,
Right.
but they're not cheap. You'd probably be better off getting them from Reaper. Not to mention they won't rot because the old ones from Heritage are lead and they've only got another decade left in them.
Okay,
We have
let's
lots
see
of toads
here.
in my area, plenty of tiny little toads the size of a dime to a quarter, tiny. But tree toads are my favorite. I've only seen them a couple of times out here.
All right, so when you type in frog god, it immediately goes to the Sagwa,
Uh,
also known as the sleeper of Nikai. by Clark Ashton Smith. And then Lovecraft had another frog god that was named Nagai.
Mhm.
And they were supposedly frog-like beings. The Nagai were a frog-like race of servitors of Siaga,
Mhm.
and Siaga is basically a giant eyeball covered in tentacles. So never mind.
My favorite are still the Slotty from the Fiend Folio. I love those guys. Those are
Oh yeah,
such a fun monster. And Reaper does have uh, a variety of chaos. They call them chaos toads, I think.
right.
But the funny thing is that like the price points on them is really weird. Like the ones that you're supposed to have like more of because of the color, if you will, blue, green, red, or whatever. Like the one you only have like the rarest, like which I think is the red, um, is the cheapest, and the other ones are like bigger,
The
like
the
just
rarest slot is the gray slot, and then
right. No, I mean
death
that
slot.
of the because they don't make those because those are kind of like copywritten or more
Need to get back
obvious,
to playing Frostgrave. Yes, you do, Mike. Shadow, I gave a bunch of mine. I gave them away to Hungar, which means I might as well just put a brick in a bag with them in the lake.
Mhm.
But there for a while, my wife painted
Your
miniatures.
wife. We you cut out after you said your wife. Still can't hear you, James. You're gonna have to tell that story all over again when you come back. You didn't hear anything you said except mm-hmm. Sorry, James. Uh I have been looking at some Frostgrave minis, thanks to James L. Also Stargrave, but I'm not going to get to play them anytime soon. So I'm trying to limit picking up games like that are just going to sit. I picked up the Epic Warpath, thinking that I was going to get to play that, and it's not happening. I got 3 armies sitting right here, still in the Kickstarter box. I'd love to play that game, but again, probably not going to happen. I summon you, James. Well, if
Yeah,
he doesn't, we didn't hear anything you said.
I said that for years, like 50. Oh, well, there we go again. For years, like 15 years ago, my wife would buy me a case of those WizKids painted
Oh, okay,
miniatures.
okay.
So I had like tons of all the slant,
Oh, really?
and I gave them to my brother. I mean, it was like, one of those big Cambro, like, those big cases with like the lids that you clip on,
Mm-hmm.
the big plastic cases. Yeah, I had one of those full of D&D miniatures.
Yeah,
But you know,
I only bought the unpainted Whiz Kids minis. Someone sent me though, Grim, Dave sent me the Froggemoth, the pre-painted Froggemoth, but otherwise I never got it in. I didn't even know about them until years later. All the pre-painted stuff and the blind boxes. Same with the Star Wars game. I missed all
mhm.
that crap. I was doing other things and just not going into game stores and not using the internet. So I just missed out on a whole bunch of crap that would have just cost me a ton of money. And now uh, I'm glad I kind of missed out some of that stuff. Other stuff, not so much, but uh, all the blind box thing. The only ones I ever got into were HeroClix and Mech Warrior, and
Right.
those both fell apart. The games were absolutely terrible. The minis were cool and sculpted by Paul Bonner, a guy whose work I've always admired, both painting and sculpting. Guy could do it all. But the games were just freaking trash. So instantly broken right out of the box, and not much you could do about it.
Right.
I know I got a buddy of mine to pretty much rage quit the entire hero clique, and he was like the biggest superhero fan I knew up until that point. I played the X-Men, and uh, the X-Men have this ability where they can sort of trade damage. So I just kept my X-Men in this block of this formation, just not moving, and then just poured all the damage into Wolverine, and he would just regenerate it.
And he
Yeah,
got aggravated because it was
you
like
can't
you've been
win
such an asshole, man.
because they play as a team, they fight as a team, and you can't beat them as a team because they're the
Yeah.
X-Men.
Well, what if you just ignored the one guy and piled all the damage into Wolverine?
He was in the center.
So yeah, you got to find a way
Take out somebody on the
to
outer
get to
edge.
Wolverine.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, because he's sucking up all the damage. Well, I mean, there's probably you could do it if you had Juggernaut.
Maybe.
Just slam through him.
hmm
I don't know. What do I know about it? Nothing.
And you're right. I did use a lot of those minis, like the extras and stuff. I would like take them off the base and do things, clip them and make new things out of them, or strip them and repaint them. They're
I
dirt cheap
did that with
and
the trees. Do you
with
know
what?
they look like evil little trees,
Okay.
and they got like their branches up. They don't got any leaves on them or anything. They're just like wood golems or something.
Uh-huh.
And I popped them all off their little clippy base and put them on normal bases. And I use them to represent, evil tree spirits and shit like that.
I mean,
And
from
there's a
the Lord
giant
of the Rings game.
no, bro, from HeroClix,
Oh, okay.
the original HeroClix. And then there's also that giant skeleton you could always get.
hmm
And I've got one of them on like a 50 mil base. Just that big ass skeleton is gigantic.
Yeah, Grim sent me some sort of like giant with people riding on him. That's still in the box, in the blister pack. Never opened
Yeah.
that, and a couple other things like that. I really like Mage Knight as well, and the dungeon version they made of it.
Oh yeah, Mage Knight's what I'm talking about. Sorry.
And those were fun games, but it's so hard to put together armies and things like that without buying a crap ton of shit and getting a bunch of stuff that you didn't want. There were like 8 factions in Mage Knight, and open up boxes getting not the faction you're looking for was aggravating.
Yep. That was that was a feature, not a problem.
I know. From a marketing standpoint, it was genius, but it was also gambling.
Yeah,
And,
that's exactly what it was.
it's the same with card games and things like that. Uh, and I mean,
Yeah.
you could literally, at a certain point, they were literally printing a currency with like Magic the Gathering and other card games, you know,
Oh yeah.
and had anybody looked into it with any sort of authority, they could have done something about that because it probably caused enough people some serious financial distress because of addiction and things like that. Um,
I'm sure.
just finished the Tree of Despair from Reaper. I was
Oh,
looking at that one.
I love that. I don't have it, but I look at it. all the time and think about
I
it.
have a. Let me see if I can get it real quick for you guys. I have a tree miniature that's pretty cool like that. It's not as big.
I recently finished the Hut of Baba Yaga by Reaper, and it was pretty cool. I liked it.
Where's the face?
Oh,
Oh, it's got people hanging from it as it's charging towards you. Different people hanging from it.
like some kind of evil treant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's very fragile, but it's kind of creepy. It's a Archon Studios Dungeons and Lasers mini. They make such
nice.
great stuff. This was a lot of fun to paint. Playing with browns and greens and yellows to make him look. He's also you can't. He's actually walk. That's one of the things I like about their minis. He's actually walking through like a river or a stream.
Yeah,
You can barely see that, but their bases are some of the best. And when you start getting stuff, thanks, Stephen. When you start getting like stuff, their minis. I've got this is just one bag full of extra bases, and they're all textured with all kinds of dungeon floors and swamps and streams and different things you can imagine. Some are have like mystical carvings in them, and you just end up with a crap ton of extra bases, which is weird because they actually do sell a box that's nothing but the bases. And you know those clips, James, from your
yeah,
Dungeon Lasers pieces? I have got a stack of extra sprues of just the clips, right? It's like,
yeah,
I kid you not, it's almost 2 feet fucking tall. And I've got boxes that are unopened that have more of those in them
yeah.
that
They
I'm never
give you plenty
ever
of
going to
stuff
use. Just
for
never
sure.
going to use. Way too many of those fucking things. They really should at this point make an option to where you can say, "Hey, don't send me the clips. I don't need any more. I'm just going to throw them away." It's weight, it's plastic, it's expense, and it's built into every box of terrain that they make. And I kid you not, I will never ever need to buy any more clips unless like there's this one set they have called Belly of the Beast. It's all in red clear plastic, but it's also pre-painted, so you can see things through the red clear plastic because it's all like blood, like because you're like
Right?
literally tromping around inside the giant innards of some crazy, tentacle eyeball digestive tract of some monster that's like walking around inside Cthulhu's belly, um,
Yeah.
and it comes with red clear plastic clips so that you don't see them and sort of kill the illusion. Like these ones, the clips are clear orange plastic, so it doesn't sort of break the immersion.
Well, that's cool.
But yeah, I'll send you some pictures. The belly of the beast set is so well painted that it's creepy. It's just one of the creepiest concepts I've seen in RPGs. The idea that you're in. Venger would fucking love it. He would just be like
Mhm.
all in. You know what I mean? Because half his dungeons, you're literally in the belly of some nasty fucking, Cthulhu creature.
Yeah. He That is his shit. He does like
Yep.
that.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm looking forward to his pulp drenched cities, but we'll see. I wish it would have come out sooner because then I would have given because I'm going to get an extra copy of uh, Fuchsia Malaise or Chartreuse Shadows. I forget whichever one is book two because I
Yeah.
already gave out book one to I think it was Squirrel. Got my second copy of Chalk, and I would have just sent him book 2 because he sent me so much shit. Fuck, dude. He sent me so many boxes and books, dude. It was insane.
Yeah. You know what? I am starving.
No worries. I was gonna shut her down in about 9 minutes, but uh, you go enjoy your dinner,
I
lunch.
don't. Lunch. It's lunchtime. I'll catch you later, Shadow.
I'll talk to you later, man. Have a
Yep.
good rest of your day. Maybe
Yep.
see you
You
tomorrow.
too, bro.
And unless anybody wants to pop in and join at the last minute, I'm gonna say adios to you guys as well. I'm getting kind of peckish as well, and I gotta actually mow the freaking front yard. Yeah, before it gets too hot out there. So everybody else out there in TV land, Mike, again, congratulations. Uh, I will be doing a video. Happy trails. I will be doing a video tomorrow to launch the next craft challenge. So any of you crafters out there who are interested in gluing shit together and painting it for your gaming table, or maybe not, because we might do the Super Soaker challenge where you just take a squirt gun from your dollar store and try to make it look like a real space gun, not like a real gun, but like a like something like this, so you can have yourself a toy prop gun. As long as you don't spend more than $10 on pieces, parts, and materials. Yeah. Well, that's kind of a given there, Mike. Just saying. Um, but that's what we're going to be doing next or this month. I think we might make it. Might give you 30 days to put it together, but that's what we. I'm not sure. Bloodworth is back. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, you see, I'm done for the day.
I was just about
I'm,
done for the day too.
yeah, I'm here for another 5 hours, but I'm done for the day. So so I wanted to touch bases with you. I don't know if the topic had come up during your stream. So talking about um, talking about advanced play, play beyond, and I was thinking about it. I was like, well, the way I look at um, the way I look at the high level play, all right, and the
Mhm.
steps that you take approaching high level play, and what I really envision high level play to be is you're going to start utilizing at low level, first, second, first through fifth, let's say, you are you're going to start utilizing things that make your adventuring easier. You're going to
Mhm.
hire porters. You're going to
Yep.
hire, because the way the system was designed, where you have encumbrance, and encumbrance is an important factor, and
Mhm.
you have to think, well, yeah, we found 1,000 gold pieces, but how are we carrying this out? Well, that's where the porters and the torch bearers and all of these like non-expert hirelings come into play. And
Mhm.
so you're encouraging the players not just to think about, what is my character advancement, but what is the party's advancement? What is
Mhm.
going to make the party much more efficient at adventuring? And so that's
Yep.
the first thing. So that's really the first stage of thinking bigger than
Mhm.
just your individual self. All right.
Logistics.
Yeah. Then the next thing, yeah, logistics, right? Logistics has to be part of your early thought process of, you know, uh, moving forward and becoming more powerful. Second
And
thing,
believe it or not, it's something that's literally reviled in the modern atmosphere,
well, yeah,
the modern
because people
community.
don't want to get so granulated into. I don't want to worry.
They they,
Like
they, they, they don't want to. They
hand waving
literally.
encumbrance is an issue, and that
Well, not
shouldn't
not just
be.
that, not just that, but any sort of responsibility to
Mhm.
anything other than your own personal survival and gratification.
Right.
Anything that takes away from you or them, not you,
Right.
being the superhero that doesn't need to worry about anything except rolling to hit and maybe making a
Yeah.
saving throw every now and then.
So the second thing, and I'm glad you brought up responsibility, because the second factor that I think that you have to start considering as an adventurer is, what kind of reputation am I going to build? All right.
Like James
And
O was talking about.
because that is going to be a really important thing for high level play as well, but
Mhm.
on your approach to it, and the responsibility of coming home with your henchmen is a pretty
Mhm.
severe responsibility,
Right.
and
You literally, when you get to the point you're talking about, you're at this crossroads between banditry and heroics.
mhm,
Where
yeah,
you may not be a bandit, raiding the a highwayman on the roads, but you're the
you're
the town
aspiring to be a
bull,
hero and not just a
the
wealthy
town
bandit,
bullies, the town
so
bullies or brigands or just
right.
ne'er do wells.
Right. So that's the next thing, right? Is that, no, you have to start considering what your reputation is. All
Hmm.
right. And so that's another factor that I would build in, that you start right from level one, right? You're starting to create a reputation. Imagine if you're like a contractor and you don't fulfill your contract at the end, you're going to develop a
And
bad
people are dying on the
reputation.
job.
Right. If you're coming back and you're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Lord, I wasn't able to accomplish the mission." The princess was slain by the dragon. Was killed by the dragon. That's a fail. That's going to impact your reputation. So
Hmm.
reputation is another currency
Hmm.
that you need to gain wealth in. And it gets me back to like a lot of the comments you were talking about, like, you know treasure that isn't actual treasure, of rewards that aren't actually tangible rewards, but
Hmm.
these are the things that you want to keep on developing over time. So that's the
Foster.
next thing, right, is to building up that reputation. Then the next is, well, now that your party has gotten a few adventures under your belt and everything, well, you have to start thinking to yourself, do we want to keep on renting the room in the common room in the tavern? Again, very inspired by you, and
Thanks.
your comments, previously. And, no, we need our own place. All right. Whether we establish our own guild or whatever, or we just establishing our own
Have you ever
place.
played Red Dead?
Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
I can't get it to work on my computer, but
Okay.
yeah, well, I can't get it to. I have it. I
I
just
think
can't
it's
get
the
it to work.
newest one. I think it's the newest one where at a certain point in the game, uh, you sort of become in charge of like a camp. It's a
Hmm.
bunch of wagons and people,
Yeah, yeah,
set up as a little tiny like community. I grabbed Jackie, but I don't know where he is because
yeah.
he's playing it. And you've got different little tents that you can go to hey, I need you to fix this or I need
Right,
this or
right.
whatever. Um, and if you can't get the cottage or the little piece of
Hmm.
land, your adventuring group could literally buy two, three, five wagons and just move
Yeah,
from place to place as instead of
right. So
the
that's the next
tavern.
step. That's the
Mhm.
next stage, is that you have to start thinking, we can't just be renters or vagabonds or whatever.
Mhm.
We have to start thinking about, well, we're making this our home, and this is going to be our hub, and now we have to start making ourselves a little bit more self-sufficient in here. You're going to hire, and the AD&D group, that you had joined, you know they had already established this. If you recall,
Mhm.
they had a copper mine that was giving
Mhm.
them about 600 gold pieces a month. They had a chateau that they bought, and they did hire
Mhm.
cooks and servants and everything. So that is something that should be happening are, by level 5, everyone should have the wherewithal to pull together and to have something like that set up, possibly even earlier. At level 5 begins, you start attracting followers. All right. Now
Mhm.
these followers are going to become both, people that are going to somewhat level up, separate from you. All right. But they're also become your pool of potential replacements, right? If your case your character dies. Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's why. So that's the next thing. You have to maintain your, and keep your followers loyal and so on. And so
Mhm.
you're progressing up that ladder. Once you start pushing into levels 7 to 9, which I think is like the next larger band when you start considering high level, right? Because 9 is title for most
Mhm.
classes anyway.
Yep.
Well, by that point, your reputation within your, like, let's say you're in a city, your reputation amongst the city management, whatever, if that's a mayor or an oligarch or whatever it is, that is going to be something that you're gaining influence directly with those that are in power.
You may
You're
even very well be, one of them.
Well, yeah, that is something that for me is not what the objective is and should not
Mhm.
be. All right, unless you're going to retire your character. All
Mhm.
right, and that's where I think I separate from like your thought process of. For me, the character group is supposed to adventure from start to finish.
Mhm.
And so they're not looking for they're not looking for retirement,
Right.
until they're tired of adventuring.
Mhm.
They're not going to be the King Conan that comes out of adventuring, then goes back to the throne and come back,
Could
back
be.
and forth and
I
back and
think
forth.
it's really
Yeah,
it's kind of a group consensus thing, because you
yeah.
can literally,
If someone to
you,
step away, that's fine.
Mhm.
But the rest of the party is going to continue adventuring and
Mhm.
going at. Yeah, I have no desire for players to begin, doing Farmville, on paper,
Mhm.
and oh, we're not really adventuring anymore. We're just managing
Mhm.
these manors and doing this kind of stuff. And
Mhm.
once in a blue moon, there's a political intrigue that forces. No, to me, that's
Well,
not
I
adventuring.
can literally see how, if you set up, uh like for example, like a wizard, right?
Hmm.
Or a priest is probably out of the question. A thief absolutely could set up their guild or their whatever, and still go and do all kinds of adventuring afterward, and have his henchmen and lower level, because a thief gets, I think, 46 thieves at various levels, and some of them could be up to like seventh level or
Yeah,
sixth level. Let's say you get a sixth level thief, you get lucky and you get a sixth level thief. Say, okay, you're in charge of keeping these guys stealing crap, not getting caught. I'll be back in 2 weeks. I got a thing. You don't have to explain to them. They
yeah.
go,
I would much prefer, if I'm going to be running a high level campaign.
Mhm.
All right. Number one, that high level campaign is starting at level 1 and working its way all the way up. That's
Mhm.
number one.
Right.
Number two, once you start becoming adventurers of levels 12 to 14, all right, you're starting to hit that higher,
Hmm.
probably one of
Almost,
the highest
almost,
level bands.
almost never seen, to be honest.
Yeah. But when you're doing that, you're not running anything else. You are specifically doing adventures that are almost world changing adventures. You know what I'm
Could
saying?
be.
Or at
At
least
least nation,
regional changing adventures.
at least like something on a national scale. But even then, I could still see like the wizard having a tower like hidden off in somewhere that he could
Yeah.
teleport back and forth to and have things going. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I again, like for me, I would be like, all right, now you're doing the kinds of adventures that are that your survivability is going to be, really at risk.
Oh, absolutely,
because you are
absolutely.
doing epic adventures at that point.
Mhm.
And being a king, or being, whatever, the high priest of a temple or whatever,
Yeah, absolutely.
is is
Certain,
beneath your inspiration level. You know what I'm
and,
saying?
and
It's
to
like, oh
be
no, I've
fair,
surpassed that.
like Conan, and let's say they take Conan and some aspiring priest character, right?
Mhm.
Both of those types would their life would be filled with moments where they dream of that ultimate goal
Mhm.
being the throne of somewhere. Conan dreamed from the beginning of taking a throne
Mhm.
by his prowess and making it his own kingdom. He dreamed of that as a young man. Your priest character is going to dream of the day that he can speak to the masses of
Mhm.
hundreds, maybe 1,000, people from across the land come to listen to his sermons, and he can't do
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Adventuring. Those are their dream goals.
Yeah.
On average, or should be. So yeah, they're not likely to go adventuring, but the ranger, the paladin, the thief, the wizard to an extent would be kind of the opposite, dreaming of constantly adventuring. That's why,
Yeah.
um,
So that's kind of like where I'm leaning towards. I'm like, if we are going to keep on pushing this next campaign or future campaigns
mhm,
well into the higher levels, it's
mhm,
going to be, no, you're just going to focus on the end game content. I'll use a computer gaming terminology. End game. What does end game look like in this campaign? All right, and to me, end
ultimately, I
game.
think it's kind of simple. It would be peace for the nation.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Little did the nation know that there's a threat, whatever it is,
you know,
and their retirement or end game, as you said, would be being able to rest knowing that the nation is now safe.
yeah, it's tossing the ring into the volcano. It is,
Hmm.
it is elevating the lich to become a demigod, and supplant this other deity that was your opponent. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's just it is the it is the culmination of long adventuring to come to a point where you all can say, okay, we can retire now. We've done enough, and now we can, in our retirement, we can open up that guild, because we have hundreds of thousands of gold. We have
Yeah,
years of experience, and we have all of this network of various other powerful individuals within
I think as a
our
thief,
circle.
though, once you get to like a certain point, the the guild idea kind of fades away because the
Well,
stealing of trivial coins from the merchant or whatever, as a thief, I would think that the only thieving you'd want to do would be like that one gem, the hope diamond, from
yeah,
this to challenge yourself by breaking and entering into this super hard place to steal this thing, just so you could say that you did it,
yeah.
versus like the day-to-day stealing of, and bilking the neighborhood of copper and silver. You know what I mean?
Right.
That would
Or,
just be
or the other
gone.
thing that a thief or an assassin or whatever could do is, as like their end game is going to be, I'm going to be so powerful and so skilled at what I do that I don't even need to join a guild. I could just freelance it and
Mhm,
have no
mhm.
concern
You
over
remember?
anything
You
that they
remember
throw
the
at me.
Princess Bride?
Yeah.
Okay, you remember the lore, if you will, behind the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Right.
Those guys are thieves. Okay,
Hmm.
essentially, pirates are thieves, and their goal was to retire and like he said, Madagascar, living
Yeah.
like a king. He's not thieving. He's living on a freaking
Yeah.
Scrooge McDuckian pile of treasure. All he
Hmm.
wants to do is just drink, eat, and you know. attend as many wives.
Yeah, no,
There's
a true
no
retirement,
adventuring. It's done.
a
Yeah,
true
it's.
retirement.
Mhm,
That's what the end game. So that's what the end game I think has to be in conversation is that you know at what point is your character done?
mhm,
And they're going to pass on the torch to the next. You
mhm,
know, whether it's the next character or their whatever you happen to do. So
mhm.
that's where I was
That's
kind of leaning
it's funny.
towards.
That's one of the reasons, like for me, why I like elves so much, is
Mhm.
because they're the guys who legitimately have every reason to say, "Screw retirement. I'm going to
Mhm.
keep on playing." But I do like the idea of the thief and the magic user, having their lair and their guild or what have you, and still being able to go on adventures. The magic user constantly has a need, if he wants to keep going up in levels, has a constant need of new ingredients and rare things. And he learned about, hey, this wand of fireballs was lost here. Well, I want a wand of fireballs. I'm 11th level, but I still want a wand of fireballs. So I'm going to go in this dungeon just to try to retrieve that item. The thief has a constant need for greater and greater challenges, but at the same time can benefit highly from a group of thieves who can go off and do little things to help him get this tool, that tool, swipe this thing, this cloak of invisibility or whatever, while he's
Right.
busy doing other things. Having flunkies to do the lesser tasks that allow them to do the greater task. The
Right.
fighter, the priest, um, they once they build a building, they're done. The ranger and the paladin, though, or even the barbarian, they can go on forever and ever and ever. But it's often that you're going to have a group of players that will include a priest and include a fighter, and around ninth, 10th level, they're like, hey, I really want those 100 or 200 dudes, to do my soldiers, or
Mm.
you know that's a hard thing to not want when you get to that level. It's like, I've got 200,000 gold in my portable hole. I'm a 10th level fighter. If I hire some guys to build me a castle and I clear the land, I got a place for us to hang out, and I get 200 dudes to freaking watch our walls. That's
Mm.
kind of, enticing, right? Or as a
Yeah.
priest, build a temple. You got a whole bunch of people, worshiping, and on waiting on you on bended
Yeah.
knee.
But like I said, that's all background.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that's all background. And that's how I'd run the campaign. And I was like, yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
can do all of those things, but you're not going to spend game time at the table
Mm-hmm.
working that out. That's
Mm-hmm.
something that we can talk about in between game sessions
Mm-hmm.
because when the game session comes along, you guys are adventuring. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's all stuff that's
It's funny though.
happening
I've run
parallel to your
across
adventuring.
several groups over the years, because you always, like, or not always, but you often have that one guy, like Amalric. He
Hmm.
was our scribe. He was
Hmm.
doing all the record keeping and enjoying that kind of play.
Yeah.
That kind of activity at the table. Sometimes you do get a group of people in your game, and they may be different at another table. They may have different attitudes, but
Mm.
sometimes you do get a group of players that want to do the papers and paychecks kind of
Mm.
spreadsheet gaming, and you know there's really no venue for them to get their game on when it comes to that. Like
Right.
Saxius. If you had a table full of guys like Saxius and you didn't know it at the beginning, and then you
Mm.
get to that point, and you got six guys and gals that are like, yeah, let's build this kingdom. Okay, you're in charge of this, you're in charge of that. And you're like, oh man, what are you supposed to do? Well, I quit. You can't do that to them, right?
Yeah. Um, Oh, let's see.
That's happened to me on numerous occasions where the players want to go into that mode, and then they're like, okay, we've got all this stuff working and set up. Let's go check out that dungeon you told us about a couple of months ago now. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, you leave this budding kingdom in the hands of competent people, you hope, and you go and you do the 10th level dungeon. And in the meantime, on your side time, you're rolling to see, if anything bad happens to their kingdom. If it works out, maybe they come back and it's smoke and rubble and they don't know why. Maybe they
Right.
come
Yeah.
back. Maybe they
Yeah.
come back
That
and,
was
and, and
that's something that is actually in Adventures Dark and Deep in his campaign building section. There
Mhm.
was that. Yeah, your domains, if you do get to that kind of level and you're running domains, there's a random events calendar,
well,
charts
Axe is,
for domains.
Adventure Conquer King is entirely based on
Yeah,
that kind of play as well.
yeah, yeah. So that's all in there. That's something that I would utilize is to, yeah, you can come back and you can find some new calamity or whatever. Hey, there's the one village that that is
Mhm.
your vassal. You have fight dragons. Yes. That is
It
that's
can
something
happen.
that can come up.
It's why I think my my most important pillar of this hobby is brutal honesty at session zero.
Hmm.
And if not just session zero, throughout the game, maybe a regular status update. Hey, is everybody on board with where the game is going? Making sure
Yeah.
that you don't have uh dissent or players unhappy because they the whole time they wanted to do this thing and they keep getting bumped to the back of the line
Right.
because other things are hey, we're doing this and that's what we're doing and that's what the group has decided on. But other people can feel that that they don't have any choice because they've been outvoted. And unfortunately, that's if the group is going to vote on something, and you're the only guy voting for the other thing, then you can either hang out and go along, and hopefully you'll get your chance, or bow out gracefully and don't be a dick about it.
Right.
Because you can't always get what you want, and if these guys are your bros and your sisters and your teammates, then hey, maybe you got to take one for the team for a little while, and do your damn job,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you're the the ranger or the heal bot or someone who's got a specific job. You're the
Hmm.
druid maybe, and a druid's got a very specific job, and that's helping you make it through the wilderness without causing too much damage to the wilderness and not causing too much damage to yourself.
Yeah, so I just wanted to jump in while you were still on. I'll
Yeah.
let you get going and just bring that up.
No. I like the way you broke it down because uh, there does need to be some acknowledgement that these are the stages of adventuring, and
Yeah.
if you don't pay attention to them and you try to extend one stage too long, you fail. And if you don't accept another stage at the right time, you also fail.
Yeah.
Trying to be the adventuring party with no retainers, no henchmen, no war dogs, no wagon, none of that crap. You're never going to bring in the big paydays. You need a freaking wagon. And if you're going to have a wagon, who's riding on the wagon? What about the horses? What about the horse food and water and all that crap? If you don't have it, you won't get it.
Mm.
You'll constantly be going into the dungeon and carrying out only what you yourself can carry out. And while that was great for Conan, because Howard was pretty loose with the treasure,
Mhm.
lots of gems and stuff like that, that Conan would then get ripped off.
Yeah, Conan was not about the treasure.
No,
He was
no.
about the debauchery
What's up,
that
Paula? How
followed.
you doing?
We're doing, but
Hey, how's it going?
I don't. multitasking.
What are you cooking?
I am
I'm making
prepping
mustard.
for my Hyperborea game while I'm at work. So I'm a paid DM.
There you go.
Never thought I'd be a paid DM, but I am a paid DM right now.
I've gotten a few tips over the years. So does that count?
Mm-hmm.
I've
Yeah.
had I've had one or two players pay for my damn Roll20 subscription as a gift. Bit about it. It's weird.
That's always good.
I got paid at the tender age of 14 to run a table at the Unicorn's Lair over on Brookhurst and Hazard in Orange County, California. For a couple of years, it was awesome. I learned so much, playing with complete strangers and having to adapt, and playing with people like far older than me at the time. That was like, oh, hey, got room? Yeah, all right. Buy your tickets, have a seat. Let's see your character. All right, this is the situation, and learn from them while trying to run a game.
Yeah. All my wargaming buddies were older than me. But D&D buddies were plus or minus 4 or 5 years.
Mike wants to know what you're cooking.
I'm making mustard.
Mussels?
Mustard. I'm making
Oh,
mustard from
mustard.
scratch. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Well, Monday, so I make my stuff. Made my pizza sauce this morning for the months, and I'm making mustard now. I'll make mayonnaise later.
Really?
Yeah. Next
That's
problem
crazy.
is trying to figure out how to make Velveeta.
Okay,
Velveeta.
that's awesome.
I told you we don't do preservatives anymore.
I never took it that far in the thought process.
Uh,
Everyone wants to know what you got cooking, and now we know mustard.
just
You're
make
not
your
gonna
mustard.
accidentally poison anybody, are you?
No, never accidentally.
Oh, come on.
That poor dog.
Gotta put it on low till it starts to trace, and then I'll put in some vinegar and keep it on low till it starts to trace again, and you're done.
Okay, that's cool. Mayonnaise sounds kind of iffy for me.
Man, use it as a base. I found out when you make your own mustard and stuff, and you use it for other stuff as a base, it works. It tastes better.
Well, I'm certain of that. Just because it's kind of technically like a dairy product, right?
What, mayo? Yeah.
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 I guess. Well,
I'm always leery with things like that.
wow.
I just don't like them spoiling. Like
Uh,
I'm trying to like the wife. She like I hate it when milk goes bad, right?
yeah.
And it usually goes bad because you put it in the wrong refrigerator or the wrong part of the refrigerator. Like you never put it in the door, you know that, right? You
Ours
never
was
put the
always
milk.
in the door.
Oh,
But
really?
it
Okay.
if the grandkids are over, milk don't last. If it's just me and the
Okay.
wife, a half gallon will go forever.
Right. Well, with us, it's 60-40. It either goes really, really quick or it goes bad because somebody put it in the door and the door is constantly opening and therefore it's not being able to stay as cold as possible. And I've got two refrigerators, one in the kitchen, one in the garage. The one in the garage never gets open. So whatever's in there stays good, fresh, whatever you want to call it, longer because of the virtue of it never being opened. Whereas the other refrigerator, things are constantly going bad because there's four different people going into the refrigerator all day long. The door's hardly ever closed. I'm exaggerating, but
Yes, sir.
so it's just like it goes in the other. But then we got to walk over there. Then you got to walk 8 feet. I don't want to fucking hear it. Put it back where it goes.
See, we're
You
all
know,
slaves to convenience, man. It kills me. People like your chains are made of convenience, and once you get rid of that and just do it yourself, you
check this
pay
shit
more
out.
attention to it. It lasts longer, and you.
Okay, like you guys all know that that my folks were in wheelchairs their whole life,
Right.
and even though they had the handicap thing, for your car, not once did they ever bitch about having to park anywhere besides that spot. As a matter of fact, until my dad got really really sick, he'd never use it. He'd park
Yeah.
far away. He's like, we're going into the freaking shopping center. We're going to be going back and forth. An extra 25 feet closer to the front doors doesn't mean a damn thing if I can get a parking spot that's closer to the exit so I can get out of this freaking nightmare place quicker, right?
I always park next to the cart return. That's my choice spot. You got one side of the car that no one can park next to, and I dump my cart when I go there.
Right, because there's two kinds of people who put away the cart and people who don't. My wife was like, why do you always put the cart away? Why do you make such a big deal about that? Because there's two kind of people in this world, civilized and barbarians, and the civilized put the cart back.
Civic responsibility, man. It's the most minor form of civic responsibility. If you don't have that level of civic responsibility, you ain't worth a shit for your community. that's the first test.
Yeah, I don't care how much hurry you're in, you can shave off a minute to put it back. Heck, half the time you can find a guy pushing, schlepping the carts around in the parking lot. Anyways, you can go, hey, here's a cart for you. Or if you're really smart, you see someone walking to the shopping center, you can go, hey, you want a cart? This one works really good, and they'll be like, oh, thank you. You didn't do anything. You saved yourself like 18 seconds. You saved them 18 seconds, and they got a cart that they don't have to freaking fight with, at the stall and see if it works. It's just like some basic things that I notice as I get old that I didn't notice when I was younger.
Yeah.
Basic, human decency and how like you said, how much people are a slave to their conveniences. Like the wife, complaining that she's literally got to take 12 steps to put the freaking milk somewhere where it'll
Yeah. Well, I think as Gen X guys, we're probably the last of the generation that didn't have instant gratification 24/7.
Yeah.
So, and I was raised by people born at the turn of the last century. So, see, I'm kind of off. I'm like a hybrid, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's why I've been watching those videos I've been talking about the Great Depression and all the different ways people cut time and money to survive, on less and learn, some basic, tricks to stretch your dollar.
Yeah, I made buttermilk
A lot
pie
of
the other day. Speaking of like Depression era stuff, I made buttermilk pie, and it did not taste as good as I remembered it. That's just kind of plain.
But there's a lot of things that we do and that we've been and manipulated to stop doing that would not just save us money, but just made more sense to do things different ways. You know, like you said, no preservatives. Healthier cooking, victory gardens, all these little things. Heck, even Tenkar. He lives in an apartment. Several floors up, from what I understand, and he and the wife they still have a garden with things that I guarantee, not just lower your stress level, but
Yeah, if
save
you're
them
in
a
an
couple of
apartment, man, you
bucks.
can still manage to do your own herb garden through the window or on a terrace. And
Or like I
fresh
was
herbs
talking
are so
earlier,
powerful.
you can still grow a box of potatoes in
Oh
one of those
yeah,
little balconies,
the
no
birds are
problem.
powerful.
And I don't know about you, but the idea of turning one potato into like 24, without having to do anything except turn the water on every once in a while, that's freaking, that's awesome.
Yeah, we used to do that stack tower in the backyard. I haven't done that in a few years. But my daughter's got a farm. So they're like, Dad, what do you want this year? And I'm about lazy because shit, they're like, we'll plate you a couple rows of corn and what peppers do you want? And I'm like, all right, we'll do a row of peppers. And we're talking about a row, it's like an acre or two. So either.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I never thought that's the one I didn't think would end up on a farm. That's the one I thought would run off to a city, but she ended up out on the farm.
I bet she loves it though.
All the kids love it. It's good for the kids. All my granddaughters have their own cows, so they
And
slaughter
you
a
know,
cow every year and it goes into their college funds, their trust funds, and stuff.
you know, that's one of the things people don't think about. You know, it's like oh, it's just a $5 coffee, it's just a $10 coffee or whatever, right?
Oh, what's up? Yeah, death a thousand cuts.
It absolutely adds up. If you got a you know like a total at the end of your life, and you found out that you spent $15,000 on coffee, you know,
Or coffee tasting product.
right. You know, or other things like that. If you could get like a running total, how much you were saving. Well, back in the
I gotta run, guys. I gotta take care of something on Discord.
okay, no worries.
You have a good one.
Take care, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
I forgot to jump on while I was stirring for 20, 30 minutes.
That was one of the things I learned is that in the old days they kept records of this shit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You know when they got their paycheck, you know, not only it's weird because I learned some of these things on my own, like the envelope thing. I no one ever told me about it. I just did it. You know,
Yeah.
certain money goes at the beginning of your paycheck. Money goes here. Money goes here. Money goes here, and whatever's left, you can do whatever you want with.
We've been planning out weekend stuff with the grandkids this year.
And the
I
more
found a
you
place
plan it
called
out, the
Wild
more you can
Wonderful
do, right?
Schoolies. Yeah, I found this place called Wild Wonderful Schoolies in Ohio. I mean West Virginia. We're taking some of the grandsons up there for a day at this zoo place, right? And that
Mhm.
night, it's like a camp of converted. It's all just converted school buses to camp in. I'll send you a link later, man. It's hilarious. We have a blast. I think the wife was more excited about the schoolies than anybody else.
Absolutely, Stephen. And it's amazing. It's amazing. Um, some of the ways we've been conditioned over the years. You know, things we do and we don't do that were done better
Yeah.
back in the day, and they don't want you doing them better.
Well, also, when you go into mass produced stuff, you're going to the common denominator instead of personalized taste and flavor. Like if I want this, if I want this to be a little spicier, I spice it up. If we want it a little darker, if I want more like a spicy mustard, I can do it. Not as spicy as say over the counter, I can do that. I can just alter it. I tend to put a little extra garlic in everything, so I'll watch that. Same with the salt. But I know since I switched over to the Redmond salt, my salt cap doesn't bother me at all, hardly at all.
Do you use the pink Himalayan or anything like that?
We use Redmond salt, and they make all that stuff, but it's got more mineral content in it. It's not iodized. It's got no iodine and stuff in it. It's more natural.
Yeah, I prefer the pink now.
Yeah. Don't we all, baby?
I do like my Amazon deliveries more so as I don't like to shop. Well, you're tired of people. Yeah. I like it for things that I can't get in my local area. I like it for getting books from Red Room because I get them in 2 days, not 2 months, like I get with, you know, Lulu, or a month from Drive Through. But if I can get it down the street or whatever, I got a bike. I'll just hop on my bike and I'll go grab it. And the more self-reliant you can be, the better. You know, it's just always, you know, I didn't have a choice in the way I was, you know, brought up and raised to you know how to do these things and want to know and want to learn how to do other things that, you know, just make your life better. And if you've ever been broken down on the side of the road, in the middle of nowhere, without a phone, without a radio, etc., knowing that if you had to spend the night, you're not going to, wake up as bear food, or something bad happened to you, or just be freaking miserable for, a 24-hour period of time, because you're prepared. You've got,
Still be grumpy as hell, man. I'd be a cranky old fart after having to rough it for a night.
right.
Oh,
But you
God.
could do it and you'd have more than a 50-50 chance, right?
Mhm.
But how many people do you know that if they were stuck in the middle of nowhere for 24 hours could very well end up dead?
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I know a few
Mhm.
people that might kill themselves just out of fucking desperation. Like, give up.
That
Huh?
that, that 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 blows my mind, because 100 years ago that would have never been, that thought would have never entered anybody's mind, except the most dainty of
Thank
teetotalers.
you, people, eh? Man, this is just not. Just,
Exactly, guys. The more you know how to do, the more things you know how to do. I mean, you're not saying you got to be able to freaking, do everything, but when it comes to the most basic stuff, you know, uh, how to clean water, how to make a fire, how to make a shelter, how to find some food. There's food everywhere.
yeah.
There's very few places you can go where you can't find something. I'm not saying eat crickets or anything like that, but for the most part, I was at Walmart the other day, and it was just the grocery Walmart, not the full blown Walmart. And I'm like,
There are just
eh,
grocery Walmarts.
what?
There are just grocery Walmarts.
Yeah,
Oh, I've never seen one. Oh, we
yeah,
have combo ones where it's half grocery, half regular, but I've never seen one just a grocery. Now, I have seen a Dollar General that's just a market. That's kind of weird, but to me,
yeah. Who wants to buy their food there? Not me.
dude, I
Uh,
know a dude that's all he does is buys all his food from a drive-through or from Dollar General.
I can see it. I mean, and if he stopped going through the drive-through so much, he could probably afford more fresh fruit and vegetables, or fresh meat instead of meat out of a can or in a package. You
He's a
know,
gambling addict, dude. So
but I'm like 25 pounds overweight, right? And I went to this Walmart, and I was the skinniest guy there, and I don't consider myself a skinny guy.
yeah,
It was just like, what happened? Well, I know what happened. They wanted us that way.
we
Um,
inverted the actual food pyramid, and they loaded it up with saturated fats and corn syrup, lots and lots of grains.
I hope that was a nice trip, Mike. Yeah, I air, water, and food in that order. Everything else is second place.
Wow.
Yeah, the
Speaking of,
30 second, the 30 30 30 rule. Well, not 30. It's 3 minutes, 3 days, and 30 days. I can't even imagine going 3 days without water. You know,
so I'm in an area that's not an option, man. I mean, there's so much water. Even if you got lost in the woods, it's so easy to find water. And the water table's not Kentucky's water has because all the limestone
hmm
cavern systems underneath our feet. The water is just pretty plentiful. You
it,
gotta be
it,
out. You gotta be going out of your way not to find water. You die of thirst.
even though I live in the yeah, mine too, Mike. Even though I live in the desert, there's lots of places with trees and cactus and things like that, and stores, etc. There is a stretch of land. It's about 100 miles of road and freeway or highway, not freeway. Um, but I mean, you can see within walking distance. It might take you half a day, but you can see something that'll get you, you know, water or communication or something.
The problem is most people are walking around already dehydrated, and doing a large stretch like that can force a medical thing on them that they'll just drop.
Mhm.
Most people are just naturally dehydrated because they don't drink water. They don't drink any of the electrolytes. They drink sodas, where they think coffee is the same as water. And I'm like, well, it's kind of a diuretic, so, you know.
Yeah. I mean, if you hold it in, you don't pee, you should be okay for a little while longer. But at some point, you're going to pee,
Yeah.
whether you like it or not.
And
And
you can
if you
drink that
don't,
once or twice if you're desperate enough.
yeah, I can't imagine ever being that. But I also know how to get water out of other things. So, it might take a while, but it'll give me something to do. And it's definitely going to cause a fire to get the water. So maybe that'll attract some attention. Hey, why are you burning this shit on my land? Well, because I didn't want to die. You want to take me to a phone? I'll pay you. And hopefully you didn't just bump into some weird cultists who are going to just, throw you in a gimp suit and chain you in the basement.
Yeah. Shanunu, but it's all a bunch of dudes. Wait, what? No.
What a time to be alive, huh? You getting tired of hearing that yet?
Did I forget something? It's not thickening. Talking
No.
about any gaming today?
Oh yeah. We were talking about all kinds of different things. Of course, Hyperborea, because DM James was here. We did talk about advanced play and higher levels and hirelings and henchmen and logistics and things like that. That's verboten in a lot of circles of gamers because it's it takes too much of the fun out of it. It's like hiring say no to gimp suits and nice some miniature talk, some painting talk, and stuff like that. Kind of, I'm a cross between burnt and wanting to start a new like first level game when it comes to fantasy.
You always complain about being bored of fantasy, dude.
Yeah.
I'm overloaded. Shit
Yeah.
hard cleaned up.
I realize it's probably kind of a broken record, but you know until I can find uh, a, a very specific group of people that aren't going to just flake, you know.
I don't know. I've been playing for about 3 years with the group I got, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I've got my Sunday group. It's four guys, 2.5 years. But starting anything new, I've started several campaigns over the last couple of years, and they'll make it like 6 months or so. But uh,
Oh, I meant to make a video about highest level character. I was going to go in depth on that. I
yeah,
just haven't had time. 3 days a week, I'm now watching two of my grandkids that have some of the most problems. So I got a nonverbal, autistic 2-year-old for 3 days.
okay,
And when I'm done with that, I don't even want to talk to anybody. I'm just
yeah,
stressed.
that's got to be rough.
You fuck, dude. I was talking about Wop. I said, man, I don't want to dislike my grandkids, but he's driving me crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, it sounds like they have no say in the matter. Pardon the pun.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Yeah,
I
because
prayed
I
for
actually,
patience. And then next thing I know, I'm watching a kid with a nonverbal autistic for 3 days. I was like, I see how you work, Lord. I see how you work.
mhm. Yeah, I actually had a roommate for a short period of time with a nonverbal, and I literally through repetition and attention was able to kind of break through
My
in that.
sign language. We're making up our own sign language. I think that's the only way it's going to work.
Really,
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it like a brain thing or a physical?
Autism. I mean, I don't know. I think I consider it a kind of retardation. My wife gets upset when I say that, but
Mm-hmm.
like there's a development issue. Therefore, that's the very definition of retardation. So there's something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, I meant
I don't
like a
know.
hardware issue, versus software. Like something in the throat or the tongue, you know.
No, it's all in the head, dude. He just won't talk. He
You
grunts, he
think?
points. He's just now starting to point and do the hand gestures, but
Okay.
he's getting ready to turn 3. I mean, that should have been like months and months, a year ago, right? So
Right.
we're working on it. We're working on it. Just
Uh,
stresses me out.
well, I mean, for me, it was just like I said, just repetition. I just started with one word and used it a lot until the kid finally started saying the word.
Yeah. I'm hoping we can stay steady with the schedule because if you change the schedule, I don't have him as much. All that work goes away after a few weeks.
Right, which is tragedy.
But my highest level character was 27th.
Really, that's pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, 27th level shade. I stopped
Really?
being human somewhere along the lines. Yeah.
Oh, dude, no way.
Yeah.
That my highest level character, the same fucking thing. He was a monk assassin.
Could you do that in AD&D?
With wishes, yeah.
I was a win. Well, fair enough. Fair enough.
I think it was also
As long as the house rule thing or whatever, I'm curious. But
there's
I
also
think raw first. I'm a firm believer that if we have 1,000 tables playing AD&D, then those 1,000 tables should all be. They should all be different rules.
oh yeah, it's gonna happen. I mean, one of
Oh,
the
it should be.
one of the things was the hat of difference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know how that works, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Once you have one, and then you obtain a wish, if you're clever, you can keep all that XP.
Yeah. I was an art major, dude. I just cast this.
But yeah, the shade uh, was just how do I put it? Freaking amazing.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
it's broken. It's broken unless you get caught in like continual light and everybody can get through all your stuff. But
right.
having magic resistance as a PC is kind of broken, and being able to naturally get more and more mirror images. Eventually, though, I kind of adapted to the monster description where I just stopped being around people. The last time we played, I was on the coast of Araday with a lonely tower, and all I did was fish. And then I was slowly getting ready to make this tower go to the plane of shadows so I wouldn't have to deal with people.
Mm-hmm.
But my buddy Mick was not the greatest DM. He would drive me crazy. He would literally drive me crazy.
27th level magic user, huh? That's awesome.
That was a 3E. I mean, he was through
Okay.
AD&D. I got to 20th, and from second edition to third edition, I got those last 7 levels.
Okay.
And that took a while. I mean, that really took a while. So those 7 levels there took forever. But for I think it took me 12 years to get to 20th. Maybe a little shorter. Maybe a little shorter. I'd have to think. My memory has gone to shit lately. We started playing with Mick and them in 83, 90. Oh, 7 years. My bad. You've been retarded. Picking up. I have it in a 3-ring binder. I should take a picture of it and send it to you.
You should still put it in the video, so that way when I go back and compile all the numbers and stuff for science, because I'm very curious because
I had my character sheet for AD&D, and I wish I never played third edition. I really do. I wish we had never switched over to third edition. Because that's when I started just hating the game. And even though it was more customizable for magic items, it was way easier to make magic items. Let's be honest. It was just easier and less work on the dungeon master because he could just point at the book instead of, using his brain.
Yeah, see, I used the Arduin books and the D&D books, as a solid foundation. But then I would just, how hard was it for me to, take an item and add, take two items, put them together, or take an item and give it another ability. I loved making, custom personalized magic items for
Combo items. Yeah, my robes were a robe of eyes / Art Mega combination.
Arduin has it took all three crossbows, speed, accuracy, and distance, threw it together, crossbow the kings.
I would call that a relic or an artifact. That's a lot.
What? It's +3, double the range, and you can fire twice around. That's really not that powerful compared to a wand of force.
I disagree. Wand of Force don't have a range of 360 yards.
Yeah, but it's got force fields and it's a +5.
Yeah, of course. You sit there. You sit there.
Yeah,
I've always thought it's funny. Like the wall of force is not mobile.
You can use it to make bridges and things like that.
More utilitarian. I mean, but I'm thinking about how something gets far away from the restrictions the game placed on an item. Those three things on the heavy crossbow are I consider what is it when it's shit, my brain ain't working. Exponential.
I think so.
Yeah, exponentially more powerful. Well, plus it as a magic item for each of those extra effects, it's already got like a +8 to saves versus destruction. Might as well just make it indestructible and call it an artifact. All right.
I suppose just when I think of the artifacts, even some of the wimpier ones,
Got retarded. Some of them are bad, man. Some are just bad.
Yeah, it's got one power, and the DM randomly determines it, and unless he picks
but
the right
it works
power.
in anti-magic shell. Remember, artifacts work in anti-magic.
What do you mean?
It's in there. They work inside an anti-magic shell. You can't suppress the power of artifacts.
I missed one word in that sentence.
Oh, yeah. Sword of Cast. Throw anti-magic shell. I got this. Slaughterfest. We had a Grandmaster monk who had the Lanthorn of Tao from Expedition, from the social camp. And they had done a anti-magic with some of the gems, and he would just light that thing up. That was it. Grandmaster Flyers, anti-magic shell that moved with him. That's it. You're over.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unless you're using weapons versus armor, and then suddenly that -8 hand versus plate mail.
That's why you use the foot.
Yeah, I kind of miss AD&D.
I do too. Well, I don't. I mean, I play it, but it's vastly warped. My players are playing between 8th level and 13th level characters, and there's like a lot of Arduin and a lot of
that
weird.
That 3-year Dragon. Well, actually, Dragon Slayer has been out that long. I think it's 2 years. My Dragon Slayer campaign, they're at 5th level. They're all 5th. It's been a long slog, bud. It's been a long slog. A lot of them are on like their 3rd or 4th characters, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, that's one thing most people don't take into account, even myself. If there's a lot of deaths in a campaign, it can stretch out the overall max level. You know what I mean? Like if you start and within year 1 everybody's lost a character, that's going to keep the overall average level of the group down.
Right. Well, I was making everybody start
harder. You froze up, Bubba.
Freaking
You froze up.
my back.
You're here. Yeah, you're
Okay.
back. I just heard
Yeah.
what you said about.
We I was making everybody start again at first, and then I was doing something a little different with the farewell, so people would get them back at second and third, depending on how much your party would do for your heroic send off. Then the greedy bastards stopped doing it, and then no one was getting any bonus XP to come back because they weren't fair. They weren't doing anything with the bodies besides stripping them. And so I got soft, and now you come in as the lowest level of the party.
Well, I mean, it's like this. If you're playing, like, let's just say you're going from D&D, because that's and the party's fifth level, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Joe, one of your best
Third and
buddies.
fifth. Yeah.
If
Third
Joe
and
comes in, one of your best bros, been playing Die Hard, etc., but he died, and so you say, well, okay, make him a first level character, makes up a first level fighter, and he comes in, and everybody else is fifth level.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Right.
what's going to happen?
He
One
gets
of
such
three things.
XP and holds it, or he gets killed by an AOE. So we started coming in with the lowest level person in the party, which we have a third to fifth level party. Because I got one paladin who's he's not able to make the damn game most of the time. So he's been third level forever. So
And that right there is like double jeopardy for him,
Mhm.
because one of the hardest characters to level up, and not showing up means you get no XP. No XP means you're not leveling up. A
Right.
vicious cycle. That's why I would definitely like if someone's leery about their commitment, I would have them make up a fighter or a thief.
Well, we
It's like,
I combined my two games, right? My Thursday Monday group,
yeah,
and he was in the Thursday group, and he was like, "Yeah, I can play Monday," and then suddenly he can't. It's always something. It's always something. His wife's got a class, and she's using the computer for her class that night. Like, I can't move the day again. I'd lose to gain you back. I lose 2 to go to Tuesday, so we're not doing it. Sorry about your luck.
yeah. It's rough, but I tend to just uh, let people come in at something like you said, the lowest level,
Mhm.
or roughly three-quarters of the average XP, and work with that. And then give them some money to buy some magic items, and all right, there you go. Good luck.
Yeah, we've been rolling on the NPC chart. It's pretty funny. For Arden Bowl, where the mortality rate is swingy, it's usually no one dies, and holy shit, there's half the party's dead. So he started rolling on the NPC chart. If you were above third level, come back. I don't know how I feel about that, but it's working. That's the only game I get to play in right now. There's a drop in, drop out Drell Deep game. I get in on Tuesdays and Thursdays sometime, but I've just not been. It's in Central Time Zone. I'm just too tired. Thursday, after dealing with Fletcher all day, I can't.
I
And on
totally get it.
Dude, I've been passing out. I got laying that. I get my recliner, stretch, turn my head, out. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
That's because you don't get a nap.
Yeah. Yep.
I know the feeling. It's weird though. If I don't take one, I can either stay up like fine, relatively almost maybe even later than usual, or as soon as I freaking sit down anywhere after 9 o'clock, I'm out. Just call it. This day is over.
It's tracing. I just need to thicken up a little bit more. You know what tracing is, right? So you take your spoon or something through it, and it leaves like a trail, like a line behind it.
Okay.
That's tracing.
Because it's thickening up to an extent to where it'll adhere to the spoon or whatever, and then
Leaves a little bit of a trail behind it.
Mhm.
Chemtrails.
If it's too thin, it won't do that because it won't stick to the spoon.
Right.
Okay.
It's not. It's
Make me
not.
hungry, man.
I
Hey,
mean,
3 breakfast
if you want
sauce.
to eat if you want to eat a big tablespoon of mustard, go right ahead.
Oh yeah, thanks. No, no. It's weird. I'm like the only person in the family that likes mustard.
I use it as a base on some of my barbecue, and then on hot dogs and
Hmm.
burgers. That's it.
Yeah.
As soon as I get some of these son-in-laws of mine to get my smoker on the back deck, I'll start smoking again, and I'll use this as a binding agent on. I got a 9-pound pork butt in there, wanting to make pulled pork. I can't go up and down my deck steps across the yard to where I got my smoker now. I'm just swamped. You get on the deck.
Yeah. I'm trying to do better. I just put the my son got a flat tire on my bike, so I fixed it,
And,
and he's been using my bike for school. But now that he's graduated, he will probably never ride it again. So I fixed the flat tire, and when you fix a flat tire, you gotta try it out. It's like the first time I've been on my own bike in a year. I'm like, oh, this is I thought because I gained a little weight, I thought,
yeah,
oh, it's gonna be miserable. You know, I hop on it, fresh tire. It's like around a little bit around the neighborhood. I'm like, man, I miss this. I'm taking back my bike.
yeah. Do it in the morning when the sun comes up. That'd be perfect. Cool
Mhm.
wind, cool wind in my hair. You got one of them high riders? I can see you with the high rider.
I've got a beach cruiser. Beach cruiser. The only kind of bike I've owned uh, since high school. It's been a beach cruiser. I've owned a dozen of them. I just love it. I can't get into motocross or mountain bikes. If I want my spine straight up and down when I'm riding. Any kind of this shit. No thanks. Not
I
into
want
that.
to get an old man bike. We have these this thing in Kentucky called Rails to Trails, and what they've done is they've taken these old train tracks and they've
Mhm.
made them anywhere from a couple miles to 25-mile long bike paths.
Okay, that's awesome.
And it's really cool. There's one not far from my house, and it's like 23 miles long. But they have covered bridges made out of old school buses and all kinds of weird stuff.
That's
Yeah,
awesome too. We do the Sleepy Hollow thing or something.
yeah, something like that, man. It's down in
That's cool.
Paintsville.
That's
I'll
cool as
find the
shit.
name of it. I'll send you another link. It's really cool,
That's
actually.
fucking cool as shit.
But the Rails to Trails is all over Kentucky, and they're taking some of these old ones that would cut through towns to coal mines and stuff and businesses that don't exist anymore, and they're
uh,
making them into walking paths / bike paths. And evidently, Eastern Kentucky is real popular for the bike people. I'm like, gosh, I can't stand them on the main roads, but if you want to get on the rail trail, knock yourself out, man. But if I gotta get behind you in traffic, I'm ready to murder somebody.
yeah, I don't like the idea of the like cyclists that are on the actual street. I'm like, there's a freaking sidewalk right there. Just use it.
Yeah,
Or
we even
get
put
as
in bike
close.
paths. We even put in
You,
back pipes in my little town, and I swear people just park in them.
you, you
Funny.
know, you should get yourself one of them old grandpa trikes. With a couple of baskets on the side, and you know, you can take your shit with you or go to the
That's
store
that's
and get.
that's something. I like the ones that are kind of backwards. They got the two wheels up front and one in the back. I think they look ridiculous,
Oh
but they got
yeah,
that huge basket on front. I'm all
yeah.
about it. If it's ridiculous and I can just relax on it, I'm all about it. But
I'm telling you,
I couldn't put that on the back of my car. So
that's one of the reasons why I like the beach cruiser I have. It's got a basket. It's got a book rack in the back. It's nice and comfy, and if need be, we can throw it in the back of the vehicle. Like when Jackie, his mom wouldn't let him ride home in the dark.
oh my
If
god,
he's
how old is he?
well, I know. Well, just because she thought he would get hit by a car because they wouldn't see him, and I'm like, he knows to stay on the sidewalks. You stay on the sidewalks, you can't get hit by a car unless someone's trying to murder you.
Right. when you're on the sidewalks, you do the hitting. Okay, that's how it goes.
Yeah,
Kick,
you know.
kick that leg out. Get out of my way.
And so she'd go pick him up from school events or whatever. And we could fit the bike, put down a seat, and the bike would fit.
Yeah, I want a
Anything.
12 mountain bike with the big fat tires on them. But I'm only going on these railroad trails, so it'll be mainly just all pavement. And some of them are gravel where they're under construction and stuff. But,
Do you have goat heads out there though?
huh?
Do you have goat heads out there?
What do you mean goat heads? You mean off trails?
No. Goat head is a little sticker thorn thing that will stick in anything it can get. It's freaking evil little
We got
spikes.
chiggers. We got chiggers, but
No, it's like a thorn. Imagine a caltrop made out of thorns, but it's only about this big.
I mean, we got thistle and chiggers is what we got,
Okay,
and lots of blackberry. And blackberry is just like the razor wire of the forest. Well, we call them chiggers. It's this triangular thorn thing. It's off a bush.
Okay, well, yeah, we've got something like that. They're kind of small, so you can't see them to avoid them. They're not like those sticker balls, that you could throw like a ping pong ball. So you might run over one and not know it, and find out later when your tire starts deflating.
That's why I want them fat tires for the mountain bikes. They're a little bit more puncture proof. But like I said, most of it, the trails are real good taken up. They got these bike trails down at the Red River Gorge now, but that's definitely above my grade. I'll just stroke out on one of those.
And like I was looking at one of those bigger mountain bikes, maybe even electric, and it's like fuck, $1,000.
Yeah, they've gone up for the polycarbonates. Yeah, the ones you can hold up like with your hand, but weigh nothing.
I don't know about that, but it was fat tires, the whole bit, electric. And I'm like,
polycarbonate. If it says polycarbonate, man, the thing's like stupid light. Like it don't weigh nothing. That's how come you get so much more out of the little electric motor.
And it sucks because pre-COVID, I could pick up a brand new Huffy Cruiser for about $120, and I'd pay for the warranty because if anything went wrong with it, even like a flat tire, I could get my money back. Yeah. Right? Not really a flat, not a flat tire, but anything above a flat tire, they would just say, "Okay, we'll send you a check."
Yeah, Huffy's a good company.
Yeah, because it's easy. Because they don't want to send you. Because the first time it was a chain guard. I just wanted them to send me the chain guard. Send me a chain guard, for my kid's bike. And they're like, "No."
It's gift cards now. Even replacement programs, they don't want the stuff back. They just send you a gift card, and it's done.
Yeah. So I've never really paid for a bike in 15 years, gotten all the money back. But I'm still pissed because after COVID, those same $199 beach cruisers went up to as much as $320.
Yeah, I got bike racks for our Subi, but we've never picked up the bikes. Same way with my kayak mounts. We ain't picked up the kayaks.
That sounds like fun. I've never done that, but I think I could get into that. I can't swim very well, but I
like going out to the lake in the early morning where the mist is like 2 foot thick on the water, and then just cruising. It's so comfortable. You're soaked. The mist is so thick, you're wet when you get back. It's kind of cool.
That sounds.
I get a lot of pictures. Awesome. We haven't done that in about 4 years, I think.
Mike, that's just what we call them. They might be called other things, but they're a bitch. They're the equivalent of a freaking a hemorrhoid, out in the woods. It's just awful because they're so small, and they're freaking needle sharp, and will. I mean, there's no tire, even with the green liner that we put in. You get those green liners for your bike tires. It's just it's made by the same company that makes slime, the green slime that you put in your inner tube, which I fucking hate, because all that does is clog up your inner tube and make it useless, so you can't refill it. But it's just the rubber liner you can put inside the inside of the tire, and it's supposed to extend the life of the tire from punctures. And it's like, yeah, but goat heads are assholes. They go through the sides. They somehow leap up and go and aim for the side of the tire. Yeah, I would call them that as well, because they are. I mean, I could change a tire in 10 minutes on a bike. And Jackie's mom was like, "Why don't you show him how to do it?" It's like I've already taught him how to change a tire, but it's going to take me more than 10 minutes to get his ass down here to give me a hand changing the tire with the way he's gonna. Oh, I'm in the middle of this. I'm in the middle of that. Freaking, 8-10 minutes. I'm already done, and on the bike, giving it a test drive. So you know when he has kids, if bikes are even allowed, and he wants to ride a bike, he can figure it out. But I seriously,
They'll get the jetpacks.
right,
We'll be robbed. They'll get the jetpacks.
probably, but they'll have like a chain or an anchor so they can only go so high. You know,
So you have left your 15-minute city. It will be $93 a day. What? They're doing that in England, but Europe, it's got released that when you get so many passes outside this zone with the flock cameras track you, it's $93 a day. You get X amount of free exits, and if you live outside town, you get X amount of free entries, and then it's 93
how
bucks.
how do people not see what they're being herded into? How do they not just say fuck you?
No,
And,
man,
and start stringing up the people that suggest these kind of policies. Because I remember just a couple years ago hearing about you only get to fly 3 times in your life policy.
yeah, I quit flying anyway. I will never step on another plane.
Right, right. But I mean, for the people who need to, want to, can, etc., there should be no limit. If you can afford it, you can fly. Obviously, then they'll go,
Most
well,
people
just
should.
make it unaffordable. They'll just make it unaffordable. Right. But I mean, they shouldn't even be thinking like that. Why are they thinking like that? Because they want to control you. Why do they want to
It's all
control
about
you? Because they're petty little bitches who never got no whatever it was they wanted in life.
I think they want to thin the herd, man. I think a lot of it's just about amassing resources.
No, I don't think so. Because if that was the case, they would stop certain things from happening. That would do that faster.
But you
More
profit
quick.
off people. I think they just juicing everybody, dude. I'm gonna tell you, they make you sick, and then they profit off your treatment, which just kills you slowly, and then they wring every dime out of you, every dime.
What they want is just an entire species of compliant morons.
Yeah, well, they're
That's it.
halfway. I think they're halfway there, maybe over half.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely more than halfway there because there's so few of us having these kinds of conversations. Uh,
Zoomers are having much more radical conversations. I talk to the younger people in some of these. We'll call them fringe ideological environments.
mhm.
And we're going to have to curb their bloodlust. I'll just be honest. I'll be
or
honest.
or point them in the right direction.
10 years, some of these Zoomer kids, when they're men of military age, I worry.
No, you just got to point them in the right direction.
Like I said,
Hey,
curb that bloodlust. I mean,
well, if you're gonna, you might as well get something done with it.
yeah, exactly. I'm also half of me's like curb that bloodlust. The rest, like, yeah, let him go. Let him cook, as they would say.
Mm-hmm.
No. You don't put a point on the pole. You round it so it shoves the organs out of the way as it goes up through the body. It won't fit through the sphincter. You're going to have to cut both sides to split that part of the body before you insert it. And by all means, load it up with pork lard before you throw him on there.
So we've got to the really graphic freaking part of the show.
Yeah,
It's
impaling
all,
is a very fascinating thing. Although I think we should bring back barreling because barreling seems way more horrible way to die than 3 days on a stick up your butt, to be honest.
well,
But
see,
that,
I think it's the spectacle of the 3 day wait. Um,
yeah,
I'm more of the gallows, just quick and over,
Quick and easy.
quick over and easy. Yep.
You don't want to use those Illuminati guillotines they got stockpiled. They're
No,
vomitines.
because see that I mean, I know there's going to be a cleanup on aisle something, no
There,
matter
there's
what.
there's work. There's purchase orders in the U.S. inventory for a guillotine and 15,000 replacement blades per guillotine. That is beyond troublesome.
Well, when the Antichrist gets here and people start saying, "F you" to him, that's what happens.
I should have grabbed one of my specials.
And it's funny too because they think that's going to scare some people, and I'm going to be that guy. It's like, hey, can I cut in line?
Yeah, cut in line, just get it over with. I think
Like
I'd already pick up one by
like
that.
like because there's going to be those scenes, of people like trying to run away, and I'll be like trying to run forward,
Bring it.
and then they'll be
You're gonna
like,
be
"Fuck
running
that guy,
forward like
drag him back, throw
you're
him
gonna
back in
pull
the
it.
cell."
You're gonna pull in that doula. Sure.
No, I'll just take somebody. It's like, hey, can I cut in front of you? Can I cut in front of you? I'm just trying to save somebody's life. You know.
Hey, you trying to make a pun? Cut in front of you. Cut in front of you.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice color.
Yeah.
I've become a big fan of Belgian mustard. I get from uh,
Oh.
Old World Foods, I think it is.
Yeah.
Because I got a little jar, like a little tiny jar, in one of those cheese and cracker things and sausage you get over the holidays. And every time I get one, I'm like, oh man, I love this mustard. What is it? Belgian. I look in the store. I buy Belgian mustard. It tastes like shit, not the same, you know, right? And
Yeah.
so I'm like, okay, I get my magnifying glass, my readers out, and I'm like, what's the company name? Oh, okay. I look them up online, and that's all they sell is mustard and relish
Yeah.
and pickled beets.
Hey, I'm gonna hop off here and get on my PC. It's easier for me to do it. Be right back.
Don't know how long it's going to take him. There he is. Well, I got to get rid of him before I can get him in.
Ask for you. Quick as can
Okay.
be. Never catch
You
me.
got it. You're not. We got you in stereo, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
I was at the stove. I thought I'd hop on, so that's through my phone.
Yeah, so I ordered the 6-pack of Belgian mustard. I think I ordered it a little over a year ago now, and I think I got one jar left. I like it, but I also found that I got a little burnt out on it. After using only it for all my mustard
I
needs.
think
So I
that's
went back to
pretzel mustard, isn't it? The Belgian mustard is more like a.
it's a little sweet. I won't lie, it's a little sweet.
Is it a little thicker though? Is it like thick?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can see the ground seeds. It's a yellowish,
Yeah.
like it's like a khaki with little speckles in it.
That's,
I like it. But I got kind of burnt on it. I just went back to the yellow. But I'll get more now. I like every day I get like 12 ads from Old World Foods, which is weird how they're even in business because all they sell is like French, Russian, Belgian mustard, pickled beets, and some kind of relishes, Polish relish and stuff like that. Like how?
needs to be the best. Not everything needs to brain. Not everything needs to be a brand that's in stuff it's not good at.
Right. But it's like it's so niche, because like younger folks, I can't imagine them even knowing.
I mean, at
You know?
one time, I would say niche would be bad for your growth. But now with the World Wide Web and international commerce, no, I don't think niche is a concept anymore.
Well,
I
I mean,
focus
it,
on things.
you know, like if I go anywhere, it's yellow mustard. That's all anybody knows.
Right.
You know what I mean? Restaurant, whatever. It's just yellow freaking French's, whatever. Just generic yellow mustard. No,
The only time
you
you
know.
see
Yeah,
it,
I'll
but
see
it's
it at the grocery store. You know, like occasionally there'll be a brown mustard. You know, but it's narrowed. It used to be like,
the
you know,
sandwich shops will have a little bit of variety, but for the general thing, most people are going to double down on the most common denominator, which
mhm,
is your basic bitch yellow mustard.
mhm.
It's like ketchup. It's why Heinz is everywhere.
Which you know, like was gonna say, I can see in a decade there being only the yellow. Nobody cares anymore. We're done. It's an
Mm.
old timey, old fashioned thing. Why do you
Regional
care? We don't care. Yellow's been good for us. You
thing because the French are going to be the French. It'll always be Dijon in France, and
you
but you have
think?
waves of hipsters. Yeah, I think as the world gets more like it is, people are going to shrink back into regional things because
Um, maybe. I mean,
after the coup and the breakdown of the supply chains, uh, I'm all for bringing back regional chains where we only operate in these three states. Great. When I see stuff like that, I lean into it. When it comes,
I'm trying to, but like trying to get my family to like try new things. That are old things. It's occasionally it'll happen, but like they'll try it and go, yeah, I don't like it.
yeah, my grandkids are like that. A lot of them. I got a few that'll try anything Popsy says because they're not happy with their parents cooking and stuff. So they're like, "Let's go to Popsy's, try something new." We have a few adventuresome spirits, and the rest are just like, "Mm, that's got more spice
You
than
have
I."
any great poupon?
Yeah, that's a great poupon. We
I've
keep
never even tried that, to be honest.
we keep Dijon in the fridge. I got three types of mustard in the fridge. I like a spicy mustard on my brats, and that mustard I just made, it's
Mhm.
for like I told you, it's made for burgers, hot dogs, and a base for barbecue. I'm so tired. Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up the stuff. Like right now, like every Friday we go out to burger, grab burger from someplace, right?
Uh,
And we just got news that Carl's Jr.'s like going to be closing up shops out here.
yeah, taxes. We're getting a Smalls burger. Smalls.
Well, it's minimum wage, $20 an hour for minimum wage for fast food only. They got it like locked in, until it gets raised. All fast food starting minimum wage is $20 an hour.
Yeah, it's passed by people who don't eat fast food.
Well, it's also passed to drive businesses out of the state.
You think the
They're literally doing the playbook from RoboCop. Trash the area till everybody moves out, bring in the homeless, and then when everything is moved out except homeless, people buy it up, big conglomerates buy it all up and force everybody out, and then transform it into hundreds, if not thousands, of 15-minute cities where only the select few get to live.
we've been eating Steak and Shake more as our only fast food option because of the changes they've made to their menu, the beef tallow and everything.
Hmm.
So, but we're getting this thing called small sliders. I'm dying to check it out. That's all it serves. Like the menu's so small, and I'm a fan. Of that. If you shrink your menu, that means this stuff's going to be the best because we're focusing on three things. They got
That's what one of the reasons In and Out has stayed the way they've stayed. And I found out The interesting thing about In-N-Out fries, everybody says they hate them, right?
I've not had one. We don't have any.
Okay.
The nearest In-N-Outs here are down in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and that's only
Okay.
because the owner of the company moved to
Well,
Tennessee.
it turns out the reason they come out the way they come out is because they don't cook them like several times and do these other things to them that everybody else does. All the other restaurants, they're frozen, but they're cooked before they're frozen or
We cook
whatever.
flash frozen and they're dropped.
Yeah, yeah, and then they're cooked again. Whereas In and Out, they literally slice the potatoes and throw them in the oil.
Well, Five Guys does that too, and a
So
lot of
they've
your
got a completely different
Five Guys and oh shit, what's the sub place that's right in town? Dude, I'm so wore out.
I'm only going to keep you another 4 minutes because I got to use the restroom. But I'm going to try that because, like, normally I buy these big old bags of frozen French fries, and Jackie and we love them. They turn out freaking, amazing for what I like. But I'm going to try. I'm going to get some potatoes. Just going to slice them up, throw them in the freaking oil, and see what happens.
What?
Uh,
It'll be better.
because I'm pretty sure if I look on the ingredients of the bag of French fries that I buy, it's going to say something more than just potatoes
But
on
are
the
you
ingredients.
deep frying them in though?
Vegetable oil. I can't get anything else, and trying to save grease and fat and tallow and all that shit. The wife ain't having it. She literally thinks I'm poisoning my son by giving him anything cooked in anything that's not baked or boiled.
Here's two ways I do potatoes. I cut them into wedges and I toss them in avocado oil and I salt, pepper, garlic the shit out of them and I lay them on a tray for 34 minutes in the oven. Or
I used to do that.
this has been pretty good lately. I put a big old plate of butter in a piece of cast iron and I cut these into quarter size wedges and lay them on their side at 400, season the shit out of them. And after 15 minutes, I flip them over on the other side and put them back in the cast iron and they come out crunchy. They're delicious.
Really? I'll have to try that because I used to bake with rosemary and salt and pepper and I loved them, but it would just take for freaking ever to cook them in the oven the way I
Yeah.
liked them.
I do. I get off the internet around 4:30 or 5. You know that, and then I just cook, and I cook for like an hour and a half, and then
Yeah, see, I most of the time, like during the school year, dinner would take me about 15 minutes to make, and I wasn't spending any more time than that because it would take Jackie and me 5 minutes to eat the dinner, and then go off on do our separate shit. It was like, well, if I'm only going to be eating for 5 minutes, I'm not cooking for a fucking hour.
we insist everybody speaks at the table, so there's no devices at the table, and we sit and
Same here. But it's going to be like, five, maybe even like Christmas or Easter dinner, something that we've slaved over, for hours and hours and hours. We're lucky, absolutely lucky if we can get 25 minutes at the table.
I deep fry either avocado oil or beef tallow. That's it.
Yeah, I can't. I even Jackie's grandmother was trying to save bacon grease and things like that.
Bacon grease. I do it for other stuff. But I'm not deep frying in bacon grease. It's just a little too much. But
for like green beans and stuff like that. There's lots of uses, but either way,
I can show you how to make suet into beef tallow if you want to go to the butcher and buy about 5 pounds of it.
Yeah, I got to find a butcher. That's the problem. We have one butcher, but it's about a half-hour drive, and I don't do the driving, and the wife hates driving.
For certain things all the time, so I don't get it. I just it's my butcher at Log Branch. It's about 25-minute drive to get there. The other butcher I like is about 40 minutes to get down there. But when I start to get soda and stuff, I drive an hour. I'll go for a drive.
Yeah, see, soda. I don't want to be in the car that long with the wife because it's just this running in your mouth about shit, and most of it's about not wanting to drive.
I guess I'm in the minority. I like talking to my wife.
Nah, because it's getting harder. I mean, sometimes yes, sometimes no. It just depends, But it will eventually, arc over into something that I don't want to freaking.
I know
It's like
hard.
I ain't changing, Nothing's, it's not. Just forget it. Just. Um, what's up, Dean? You just got here just in time for me to say I'm gonna go. You're making me hungry, to be honest, but I got to use the restroom.
I do.
So I will see you later. Do send me that recipe because if I can get to the freaking butcher, I want to do that because
Pop does the
uh,
soup.
I
It just takes a little bit of time on your stovetop. It's in her little book. I'll go grab it. I,
because it's been a long time since I had fries cooked in beef tallow, and I don't remember it.
they
I
can
don't even
shake
remember it.
it over to beef tallow fries and hots, man. I think the onion rings are too. I don't see them having a different deep fryer for the onion rings for different grease. But yeah, they switched over to grass fed beef and stuff. They keep Mexican Coke, like the cane sugar Coke, in store, and now they're
Yeah.
adding Dr. Pepper cane sugar and Sprite cane sugar in locations. So I only go to Steak and Shake now. I love it. I love my
We
steak.
don't have that out here, but if they did, I would be there.
It's modeled after a Ralph Steiner, so it's a throwback. It's a throwback. I love it, and they got a good selection of
Take
milkshakes.
care, Mike. All right, Bubba. I will talk to you in a little bit.
Uh,
I gotta go do people stuff. Take care, guys.